Welcome to 540 Studio Skolcast, episode 16. Hello, everybody out there in YouTube land. I hope everyone is doing well out there. It's good to be here. We're going to talk about some cool stuff today, and we have a great panel. So, of course, I'm here today with my co host, of course, Techno Sapien Geek, the wrestling god himself. How are you doing, man?
Good. I wish I was wrestling God and paid like they do. Gosh, that would be nice.
Yeah, WWE, listen to this. Triple H, come on, dude. Pay
Hey,
him.
photographer. You need a photographer. I'd be great. By the way, I want to show everybody something. He was never in WWE. I got tons of wrestling T-shirts. This is delirious. He only worked in ROH and TNA for a while. Mask guy, never spoke English, even though he's perfect English. He'd be like spoken weird, like gibberish, like amazing. But he was a great wrestler. But he ended up being a booker for ROH and stuff. But yeah, like I said, I mean, it's WrestleMania weekend, and yeah, it's like, oh, so much. Well, maybe we could go off.
Yeah.
I'll run down the card.
Aren't you excited for it?
Oh, well, it's not just WrestleMania and WWE, but yeah, I'm pumped. I'm totally pumped.
Yeah, and I watched the Hall of Fame ceremony and stuff like that today, and hey, that was amazing. It was also heartful, and when, the people out there, if you're a wrestling fan, go watch it. Everything they did, and yeah, it was great. Have you seen it, Tom? Tom?
I guess he's away
headphones
for.
just cut out. What the heck?
Oh.
Darn it!
Oh.
Hold on, I'm here. I swear. Headphones cut out.
Always gonna have some technical issues, That's so normal.
It happens, man. Dude,
Yeah.
the first time I tried to stream, it was on my birthday, and everything just went so bad. And Tony, he just transferred everything over to his channel. So thank you to him. Thank you, Stark.
Yeah, no, technical issues is always annoying. I've had a couple of them myself.
Oh yeah, I'm sure we all have. It's just the name of the game,
Well, it's a pleasure meeting you, Taylor, and I'm looking forward to having this
episode. Yeah, it's
no, exactly.
Yeah.
I know what I want to say is like one thing I really liked with the ceremony was natural disaster. And the ceremony for them was amazing. And one of them who died some time ago and stuff like that. And they got the family out and his best friend that he was tag team partner with. And it was just so heartful. And you see the big guy who used to be this badass wrestler, tearing up a little. And it's just like it really hits you hard, especially when you're a wrestling fan. It's like, damn, great talent too.
Well, John Tenta, aka Earthquake, he's Canadian, actually, born out of Vancouver. He was actually a sumo wrestler, one of the few white sumo wrestlers, and he was like a top champion. He was really good. WWE brought him in, but I heard he's one of the nicest guys you could ever meet in real life. He was like a teddy bear, but he was a great wrestler. That? Well, yeah, and him and Hogan had he remember attacking Hogan, like, a guy that almost beat Hogan at the time when he was on, and then Typhoon, or was it Tugboat? I mean, which he ended up being Typhoon. Great wrestler in his own right. Mind you, sadly, he'll never live down the if anybody follows WCW, he came in as Shockmaster when he fell through the wall.
Oh yeah. It
was so bad. That was him. It was like, he'll never live that one down. But he was a great wrestler. He was amazing. And
y'all remember when the ECW people were starting to come to WCW? Like there was the Sandman that came in as hardcore hack, and
they came to WWE as well.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. But they tried there was a lot of them that started coming through WCW first, but WCW didn't treat them right. They didn't let them continue on with their characters, and they weren't letting them get up in the matches and stuff. So get over basically.
I could break down a story because WCW and Paul Heyman did not like Eric Bischoff. There was they hated
not
each
at
other.
all. Yeah.
But Vince secretly was helping ECW. That's why you'd see them come into shows, surprisily, because Vince actually was helping them somewhat. So there was a little bit behind the scenes there.
I did not know that.
Oh yeah,
I listened to the podcast, Chris Corman's podcast occasionally, and he'll have Eric
Yeah.
Bischoff on, and different wrestlers from the Attitude Era and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And learning little facts like that's pretty cool. I like that.
Yeah.
Oh,
No, so
I heard
with
there's
Tom
a
here, like with Tom here, he is the fact god when it comes to wrestling. Because if there's something you want to know, you can just ask him, and he will break it down for you really
Yeah.
fast too.
well, WWE had an interview segment where it was Corey Graves interviewing. First, it was Heyman, and then Bubba, which and then they brought in
Yes.
Taz, but Taz wasn't even working for him. Brought him in. Then they had Devon, and then Tommy. Tommy was like the right hand man to Paul Heyman.
Yeah.
And they really break down the different stories of WC or ECW and everything that happened. And he mentioned that, and it was a really, really good interview segment. It's amazing. Some
Yeah.
of the
Nice.
underground stories of stuff.
And before we get to our guest, I just want to say hail to our good friend Netcat Media.
hello,
Hail to you, brother. It's always good to see you, man. We need to get you back on the show at some point again. Great friend. So if you haven't checked out his channel, please go check him out. He does a lot of great streams. He breaks down, some stuff here and there, and a lot of gaming streams. A lot of fun.
Nice.
And really good at talking to the audience while he plays games. One of the best ones, in my opinion. Because I've seen a lot of people who plays games, especially say big ones, like the super popular ones. They barely get to see chats, and they barely care about the chats other than when people send money. That's when they care.
Guilty.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm guilty because when I get into a game, I tried streaming. That's why I do Let's Plays now, because I can't
Yeah.
interact with people because I get so into the game, I get lost. I'm like in the
Yeah,
game.
no, I
It's
can
like,
understand that. I'm guilty for that too.
I have like an ADHD issue where I'll
Same
start
here.
I'll start a game and then I'll be like, well, I kind of want to start this other game now, and so
Yes.
right.
I have like 5 games going. So right now I have
Yeah,
Silent Hill 2,
yes.
the
Yeah.
remake. I have I just bought the Batman Arkham series PC
Oh,
Steam
Yeah, exactly.
beautiful
That's-
series.
because it was 85% off. So I got
Yeah.
I got 3 games for $8. So
yeah,
I got
exactly.
yeah,
Damn.
it was awesome. I don't know, it might still be available at that price, but I got
Well, I'm gonna
Ghostbusters
say to people,
2009.
go and buy all the Devil May Cry games, not the remake that doesn't exist, but all the originals. Go buy them. Amazing games. I own them on every platform because I need them. It's my favorite game
Yeah.
series.
Nice.
Actually,
Yeah,
I want to speak of games later on in the show. There's some remasters coming
Yeah,
out.
of
oh yeah,
course.
yeah. I definitely want to talk about some games
And,
because
Netcat
I
said,
just got a new control because I was having trouble with my controller. It would turn off every 3 seconds, so I finally
Oh, that's
had
the
to
worst.
I had to invest in a new controller. But
Yeah,
Yeah, I
that
got
is the
that one actually
worst.
too.
now I can get to go gaming properly.
Yeah, no, that is the worst when it just like doesn't work.
Yeah, and
That's
you
why I
know what?
use wired. So yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean that is the way to go usually. This one's actually really responsive though, unwired. Have y'all heard of Jason? Have you heard of Digital Eclipse, Rita's Revenge or Rita's Rewind? The Mighty Morphin Power Rangers beat 'em up
Yeah.
game.
Yes, I
Um,
have. Yeah, I have
They
it. Yeah.
they sent me a free Steam code to play it, and
Nice.
it is awesome, man. It is
I
such a
know.
fun
I'm
beat 'em up
excited for it.
game.
Yeah.
Yeah. We should
Yeah,
play it
'cause
sometime if you get it.
yeah, hell yeah, man. I do own the game because of Pacific 4 and 4. Shout out to my friend Pacific 4 and 4, aka Mike, and the team. No, so Pacific, he bought me the game. So
Nice.
so I'm excited to finally
Nice.
play it because a big Power Ranger fan and Super Sentai fan, just like you.
That's right.
Yeah, it's morphing time, people.
That's morphin' time.
And we actually are going to talk a little bit about Power Rangers today, too, because I do have some fun article about that that came out 2 days ago. But before all of that, too, Netcat said, oh, my chat gives me shit for not finishing my games. It's understandable when you have people watching, because please fucking finish your games.
I know.
Yeah,
I need to really start doing that.
But yeah, Grid, please, tell us a bit about yourself for the audience because you've never been here before, what you do on your channel, and some interests that you do have, so you can introduce it to our audience that will see this now and see this later.
Yeah, for sure. Here, let me get. I have a statement prepared, everybody. Let's see.
Has it all already?
Yeah. Okay. Here we go. Greetings, Twisted Maniacs and Zombie Aficionados. Welcome to Cosmic Theta Theater 2117 on Sundays, where the air is as stale as expired radio static and the humor is as biting as rabbit mosquito on a hot summer's night. I'm your irreverent Theta Ranger, and I'm here to lead you into this glorious descent into absurdity. We at Theta Studios, we basically theorize on movies, TV shows, cartoons. We have deep dives into big name movies, Power Rangers, Transformers. I collect Transformers figures and do customizations on my own figures, building my own as well. And basically, we game, we stream, we have a good time. We do Mystery Science Theater 3000 type of content on Sundays. We do paranormal shows on Tuesdays where we go
Really
through
fun shows.
Yeah, they're very fun. We have
Yep.
a lot of fun on there. We usually have guests coming through, and basically we just have a good time. So I'm a rabid Power Ranger fan. Jason, the
Fanatic.
basically Jason David Frank is a hero. He'll always be in my heart. Met him twice. He's a great guy,
Yeah.
and that's
You're
where
lucky
my
that you
channel
got to meet
starts.
him.
Yeah, so that's where my channel began, and I'm just blessed to be here today and meeting another Power Ranger fan, and hopefully we can have you on as well. So yeah.
Yeah, no, it is fun, and it was really nice to finally get to talk to you after such a long time because
Mhm.
we follow each other on X and all that, and suddenly I got invited on Tony's show out of the blue because I had some extra news of the Fantastic Four that we're so excited for.
That's right.
Don't,
Oh yeah.
don't.
Oh yeah. That great. That
Yeah.
great alternate reality where it doesn't actually exist in our minds.
Yeah, but aren't we excited for the gender politics?
Of
and,
course. Yeah. We don't have enough of that these
Well, yes.
days.
Yeah.
Wasn't she a doormat? Remember? She was
Yeah,
originally
that's
a
what she
doormat.
said.
No, stop.
It's sad. It's so sad where we are. But yeah.
And I think
I-
that they're gonna base her on Malice, who's a version of Dark Phoenix, like.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what I was saying too. Like, if they're gonna do something like that, right before they introduce mutants, why do
Yep.
something like that? It's so stupid. And they're also just admitting right out that they're gonna be using gender politics for her and stuff like that. It's just why? You've already lost so much money. And you're just
Yes.
keep doubling down. And the Silver Surfer is a girl.
You
If
saw
they're
the
gonna
trailer, right?
I saw the original trailer. I don't know if there's a new one out.
Yes, the final
Oh,
one.
there
the
is.
new.
Oh God, yeah.
So,
I
know
just saw
what?
pictures of the
original
the
trailer
woman
was good.
version.
Then
No,
they
yeah,
ruined it.
yeah. The aesthetic of the universe, I loved it. It was like a Jetsons type of aesthetic. I loved it. I loved the Shadow of Galactus. They finally got
Yeah.
him looking right, but then they brought in the Silver Surfer, and I was just like,
Yeah.
why? Just use Nova. If you're going to use a woman Herald
Yes.
of Galactus, just use
Use
Nova.
Nova. Exactly.
But they said straight out that they're not going to use comic material, so it's like, what's the point? Just make your own shit then. I don't know if I can say
Yep.
that.
Oh, yeah, you can. You can. So,
Okay.
what we're gonna do, we have done this on Beyond, but since you have not seen it and you're our guest, we want to torture you a little.
Oh
Okay.
no, not again for like the fourth time. Look away, look away.
I feel bad for Tom, but I love you, buddy. I love you, man.
I've watched it so much. My brain.
So again, as we always say, we do not own the rights for this. We are doing this purely for entertainment. And if you are gonna sue someone, Disney, we have a co-host called Hashi. He has Elon Musk money. Sue him. We say that all the time.
Hey, if
He's
he
the
has
guy to sue.
if he has Elon Musk money, send him my way on Sundays and Tuesdays.
Yeah, right. So here is a trailer. So you're ready?
Let's do it.
Well, folks, we all know the story.
about gender politics and gay version of Human Torch, right?
Oh God. You know what's funny? You know what's funny though? This version of Sue Storm and Johnny Storm, they look like the Roger You remember the movie they made in
Yes.
1990 that they never
Yeah,
released?
unreleased one.
They actually look a lot like the actors that played the Sue Storm and Johnny Storm in that movie, and it's really
Yep.
it kind of freaks me out a little bit. But I don't know. I didn't know if anybody else had
Yeah,
noticed
no,
that.
I have. I know what you're talking about. Yep.
Yeah.
So let's continue.
Astronauts head up into space.
And again, Pedro Pascal. Do you know there is a
We
time
know
and
I don't even care anymore.
Yeah.
I'm done.
I hate
with
him.
But we
this.
always have to.
I hate him. I hate him so much.
Yeah, I don't like him either. And there is a time and place to shave that stash.
Yeah, and this would be the proper time. Yes.
But he wants to get more money for that. Give me a lot more money, and then I might shave it.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like he can copyright a mustache or something.
Yeah. At this point, yeah.
Yeah, he's gonna.
And come back forever changed.
This car?
And again, he looks okay and all that kind of stuff. Yes. But where the fuck is the accent? That is the one thing that I want. The old school classic, the Thing accent, and all that to make
I think
him
that's
supposed to
feel
be
like
more
the character.
Brooklyn,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And plus he's too short. I'm sorry, he's too short. He's supposed to be
Yeah.
closer to like a Hulk's height. Like, no, what the heck?
Well,
He's like a midget.
I'm wondering if they're because that's the thing too is that like I said they're not reading the comics, so I'm wondering if
No.
they're going to use the Hulk type of thing where the madder he gets, the bigger he
Yeah,
gets.
yeah.
Because I know in Secret Wars where Doctor Doom is, he in the new Secret Wars, not the old version in the 80s,
Yeah.
but the Secret Wars that came out I think like 10, 15 years ago.
Yeah.
The Thing is actually the entire wall that separates all the countries of Doom World. So I'm wondering if they're going to use that logic and say, well, he can grow to be a wall, so maybe they're
Yeah,
gonna,
right.
so I don't know.
Then again, Marvel
Yeah.
never did that with Disney. Didn't do that with Hulk either. The last time that was done with Eric Bana. when he grew,
Yeah,
which was
exactly.
awesome.
Yeah.
That's still my favorite.
Ang Lee,
Yeah, that's the best, most
Yep.
loyal Hulk to his jump, his growing, everything. They really did him perfect
Yes.
there. But
yeah.
But the Hulk that we have now is this disappointment. Mark
God,
Ruffalo.
That's an understatement. Mark Ruffalo is just like a man. I don't even know if I can say the word that I'm wanting to say, but oh my God,
a lot of things we want to say about him.
Oh, he is just so he's so awful.
And I hate that they made him, we're gonna make him into Smart Hulk, but again, he's not Smart Hulk. He's just Bruce Banner in the movies.
No, he's just Pussy Hulk, basically.
Yes, exactly. And did you see the She-Hulk series?
No, I steered away from that. I mean, I know what happened during it, but
when they introduced Scar, the son.
shut up! No, I was so.
And he
pissed.
has
I was
he has like this man bun, and he looks like he's like a gay guy, and like he takes it up
Scar's
the
a
ass.
badass monster. It's like, no, what?
yeah, that whole thing with She-Hulk is just. I mean, but it wasn't just She-Hulk. I mean, they messed up with Moon Knight. They messed up with Iron Fist. They had so many opportunities. I think the only thing that did well was the Netflix version of Daredevil and when Punisher.
Yeah. Jessica Jones did really
Yeah,
well.
I like Jessica Jones.
Jessica Jones
I didn't
did
mind
good.
anything. I find Netflix at least did better than Disney's doing.
For
I
sure.
would say like this.
And the cool
like this with Iron Fist. Like I enjoy the show for what it is, for being a big Iron Fist fan. It's like I know the actor is a good actor. It's on the script was a little weak, and they weren't like super prepared for the show. Unfortunately, but at least I will say this: I enjoyed it for what it was, and it's a lot better than what Disney is doing.
Yeah,
he did better in the second. He did better in the second season, but they made it more about another character, and he was like a background character.
It should have been more about him.
Yeah,
Yeah,
for
because he was
sure.
improved by then.
You know,
but,
you know the what the cool thing is though is the last episode of Daredevil was written by the same people that wrote the Netflix Daredevil, and the next season is supposed to be written all by the original writers from Netflix. So I kind of I'm trying to have hope
Yeah, a little hope
for
for it.
the next
Well,
season. So
just a quick note on that, and like I've told Jason this too. I liked it, but I would have loved it better if they just played 18 episodes. Because the way they ended it, I'm like, the first season's kind of weak. Then you ended it
well,
weak.
it was so weak. It was so
Yeah.
dull and
Yeah,
boring. It was I hated the love story. There was just there was no it wasn't Daredevil. It was a crime drama. I mean, it really
Yeah, and
yeah.
to me, if you would have extended it longer, then it would have made the beginning part of the season make
fleshed out
sense.
a lot
But
more.
make it because it did flesh out the characters, and I understand that at the end we understand the death of his friend Bubba, everything, which I hated. Foggy was an awesome character, but
Yeah.
it made everything make sense. And
Well,
okay, but then they just ended it, and you got to wait a whole year. Like no,
I keep
that was
hearing
just-
yeah, I keep hearing people say the apparent death of Foggy. So I'm wondering if there's
I've
something
heard
that
that too.
we're
Yeah.
so I don't know what that means, but I'm
We will
wondering if
see. You will see in
y-
season 2.
yeah, exactly. I'm wondering if that's something that we're just supposed to believe for the moment and bring because
Yeah.
in comics, really no character ever really dies.
No, no one really
So
No,
dies.
yeah.
No,
so
the way
yeah.
I look at the Daredevil show is that I think the 3 first episode, like the 2 first were decent, like they were not too horrible, even though the death was a little annoying.
Yeah.
But I didn't hate it. It was like, okay, this is a decent, good start at least. And then I felt like at the episodes after, because the third one wasn't super good. It was like, okay, it's decent, but I hope it's gonna get better. And then it fell through. I hated what they did. It became so boring that I just this is so boring.
Yeah.
Nothing really made sense because you saw different writers, you saw reshoots, the pacing was not good. And I'm gonna say this: when I finally came to the last episode, yes, that the episode is better than a lot of the other
Mhm.
episodes,
Yeah.
but it just felt so disconnected
Yeah.
with a lot of the other episodes. And I'm like, you could have shortened this down to just a goddamn movie if you wanted to, or just use the original scenes, the original script on a lot of
Mhm.
these kind of stuff with the original writers or something, instead of having all the reshoots, because it really did harm, the series.
Yeah, for sure. I couldn't agree more, man. Like they really screwed up with this season, but I blame it. Well, I mean, obviously, I blame it on Disney in general, but the writers that they had for this season, the writers they have over at Disney, they're all about their propaganda and their
Yeah, the
politics and
politics,
stuff.
agenda
So
stuff.
Check
they
Yeah.
the
really
boxes.
they really need to figure out that the fans, they don't want that shit. They want it out of their superhero stuff. They want it out of their Star Wars. They want it out of their
Yeah,
Indiana Jones. They want it out of
exactly.
all that, and they want you to focus on the comics. They want you to focus on what made the fans love the characters in the first place.
Exactly.
They don't care
And,
though. They don't care. That's
They
the thing
don't
is
care.
they don't care about us, and I
Oh,
don't understand. They don't like money either. So yeah.
Yeah, they don't
Yeah.
like money. And Nat Cat said also, Pedro is not particularly impressive to me. And I understand.
That's an understatement.
Yes.
Hey,
So
I'm
let's
not gonna
continue.
lie. I like Mandalorian. I didn't mind him there, but you didn't have to see his face. So either
Exactly. Exactly.
But I liked his character there. I liked Mandalorian. But yeah,
Yeah,
all
it's
in all, I'm tired of
Yeah.
him.
You know what I liked about them? What got, because I didn't actually see the Mandalorian until I heard that Luke Skywalker showed up. So then I went.
I
Then
cried. I cried.
yeah, I did too. I did too. So I went back and I watched the first and second season, and after that, I was like, okay, they actually did Luke Skywalker justice.
Yeah.
Thankfully, Mark Hamill isn't a big part of that because he's gone wacko. But
Yeah.
I'm just happy that
Hey,
they
Mark
actually
Hamill.
did.
Fuck you.
Yeah, fuck you, man. Fuck you. Shove it up. Shove
Mm.
the force up your ass. So
Yeah, because he used that on us. So, he said, go and force yourself.
exactly.
But we are, of course, going to continue with the trailer.
Yeah.
Our city, our planet, owe a debt to these intrepid souls. And while we can never repay them, we can certainly celebrate them.
Thank you, Fantastic Four. Thank you.
Thank you, Fantastic Four!
Please welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you for whatever you did.
The
Exactly.
Fantastic Four.
And it's just like when I see Pedro, he does not give me the Reed feeling. You know,
Not
he
at
doesn't.
all. Not one bit. He looks like Doctor Doom.
What is he?
I think he should have been Doctor Doom, to be completely honest. And I'm not joking whatsoever. I'm not trying to like be hyperbolic or anything like that. I really think he would have made a decent Doctor Doom, but
And probably could have saved the
obviously-
money.
exactly.
Considering they paid $100 million for whatchamacallit to come back. $100
Robert
million,
Downey
that's what he
Jr.
paid.
That was the dumbest mistake and they've made some
Yeah.
dumb mistakes before, but that was the
Yup.
dumbest mistake they
Yeah,
could have
because I
ever
said like
made.
this, you know, for a lot of people, because I said this before, I'm not a big fan of Endgame, you know, I'm not a biggest MCU guy. But again, you're removing a big part of his death and his lore to you know
Mhm.
Tony Stark and stuff like that. And now you're gonna have like, what version of Doctor Doom is this gonna be? Are you just gonna use that, you know, it's Doctor Doom in Tony Stark's body? Is it Tony Stark who's gonna go evil, or is it just he is just Doctor Doom who looks like Tony Stark? Like, it makes for me it
Yeah.
doesn't make sense. I know they have done stuff in the comics. I was
Yeah,
not the
they had
biggest fan
they,
of
they have
either,
What
but
If comics where Tony Stark and Victor Von Doom were, but they were dorm mates in college, and then Doctor Doom switched bodies with Tony.
but it's a what
because-
if, you know? It's
Yeah,
more of a
yeah,
what
it's
if story.
yeah, exactly. And but there's another story that wasn't in the What If. It was actually canon. Where what was it? Where
But what is canon these
Tony
days?
Stark died, and then he took his body. But yeah,
Yes.
but regardless, it's just the dumbest move to change Iron Man's whole entire, because what I'm worried about is that they're gonna do a whole thing like they did with Captain America in the comics, where they say that where they said that he was Hydra all along. He was an undercover Hydra agent for the
Yeah,
entirety.
I remember that story. Yeah.
And I'm so scared they're gonna do something like that, where they're gonna say Tony Stark was actually Doctor Doom this entire
All along?
time. Yeah,
Like Agatha all along.
exactly. I'm so scared they're gonna do that and ruin the entire legacy of Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man.
Yeah.
Well,
But we
two
know
things
that
on
was.
that.
We,
First
as I
off,
said,
for
we
Reed
know that
Richards,
it is a lot of, you know, cash grab, trying to get people back to watch their stuff. But they can't trick a lot of people like us who actually knows the lore. We know this. We have seen what you guys are doing and stuff like that.
Mhm.
And you, Tom, you want to say something?
well, yeah. To me, Reed Richards, you should have brought in the one that was in Multiverse of Madness. That was John
Krasinski. Yeah,
Yes.
he was.
Yeah,
I
Krasinski.
think he was great.
Brilliant. I loved his version.
But they killed him
And,
off in the
he
most
had the-
stupidest way, because that's not
Mhm.
how it
He was
works
dumb.
with his powers.
Well, and
You know?
they also made Scarlet Witch the star of a Doctor Strange movie.
Yeah,
So,
it was just, you know, a Scarlet Witch movie.
Which I didn't mind. I don't mind Scarlet. I mean, she's a badass character, but yeah, it was weird.
But
the
she,
way they
she also
treated
had her own
is just-
TV
yeah.
show. So I mean,
Yeah.
if you, I don't know, whatever.
But as for the Tony Stark
Yeah.
thing, yeah, you're just shitting on what happened. I love that movie myself, and I was crying when he died there because I'm like, man,
And
I
your favorite,
all
and your
his
favorite
films.
part is the female part.
Shut it! That took me out of that movie so bad. I was like,
Oh, I
was like,
know
what's
it,
going
it was
on?
so cringe. Yeah.
Sure, there's powerful females. I love powerful, but no, that was purposely put there to like, okay, that takes me right
Yeah.
out of it. This makes no sense.
It creates a division because you're saying
Totally.
basically like there's the male characters and then you have the powerful female character. I mean, why can't you just combine them all? I mean, they're all
Yeah,
exactly.
heroes.
They're all
When they're
great
fighting together, that
superheroes.
was
You know, they
awesome.
fight together.
Yeah.
It's all about being a family and fight
Yeah.
the evil. You know.
Yeah, especially
what I did-
when they claim that their whole purview is diversity and inclusion and all this stuff. That's not diversity and inclusion. That is segregation. That is separation. I mean,
Oh, they love doing that nowadays.
yeah,
you know,
exactly.
segregation
as
and-
long as
But
it's on their terms.
Just a quick note on that. Of course, Captain Marvel comes down, goes to the ship and everything. Everyone's like, oh, brilliant scene, which I hated. Somebody redid a fan version of that, and it was Superman. I was like, Okay, you just fixed the movie for me. Even though it's a different world, that was still better. I was like,
Yeah,
Superman just goes
exactly.
in.
Yeah,
I was like, that's awesome. But yeah, whatever. Yeah.
yeah, the cameo,
Exactly.
But yeah, Pedro Pascal, he still miscasting in my opinion, and
Yep.
again, I think he plays 90% the same character in everything that he does. It's like he really doesn't do anything else than the same thing.
Yeah, he just plays
Mm.
himself.
Exactly. So let's get more into this.
Herbie, how's that?
Like the only thing that I still like here in the trailer is the aesthetics, of the
Exactly.
world, the building, how it looks. But unfortunately, even though it looks great, it looks beautiful and stuff like that, it can't, it doesn't want me to watch the movie. It's like I said before. Yeah, The Last Jedi is a beautiful looking movie, but a fucked up, terrible movie.
Mhm.
Well, well, as a
Exactly.
person who likes being behind the camera, and I love aesthetics. This reminds me, if anybody remembers the 1920s and 30s, they used to have those science fiction or science shows, science fairs, and this kind of likes the kind of future.
Oh,
they
yeah.
show. This is what they thought it would look like, and this is people said it's the 60s. I don't think this is the 60s. This is the modern era, but just in a different multiverse. They look like.
That's a good
yeah,
theory.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, because they're going to end up coming to our multiverse or the multiverse. So I'm thinking it's the same timeline. It's just their universe just looks like that.
That's a
because
very
they progress.
interesting theory. I didn't
Yeah.
think about that. I thought that this was like the 50s.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
figured
don't
it's
remember
modern
what they
times.
said. Yeah, I don't remember what they said about if it's what's going to be in the 50s.
But it
or
is
if
beautiful
was-
looking.
It
It
is.
cool looking.
Yeah, that's the one
Mm.
thing that I'll give this
Yeah,
whole
beautiful
whole
looking
movie.
until we see
Aesthetics are
Silver
good.
Surfer.
God.
Oh,
yeah.
Sauce looking. Okay. That is fantastic.
You're late.
What do you mean?
What do you
This joke is so lame.
Yeah.
yeah.
mean? What do I mean? You're late for dinner.
Yes, we are.
You late?
I just said that.
Are you pregnant?
Yeah.
It's like
Obviously, they're going the route of Franklin Richards and
Yes.
Valeria. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, and if you know about their son, he is one of the most powerful characters in the comics.
Yeah. If
Yeah.
not the most powerful. Yeah.
He's
And
basically a god.
yeah. Exactly. He made Galactus his herald.
Yes, it's like I say, one character I think that could be almost as powerful as him is Legion, the son of Professor X, because when he has all the personalities, he's basically a god.
And I don't know if in this trailer they show John Malkovich, but
No, not in this one.
I'm wondering if, because there was a comic issue where Franklin Richards as a kid he's told like when something like when you grow up or something like that, so he made himself grow up, and I'm wondering if John Malkovich is the grown-up version of Franklin Richards. That's my theory.
Because many people are debating that if that's the grown-up version of him.
Oh, other people are saying that too. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but it might be, But again, I would just say this.
Because he does look like that when he changes into his adult form. He's very his hair is very long. He's very, but he's a lot bigger and stronger. But
Yeah, but I'm just
yeah.
gonna say this. I think, well, when we know that she's pregnant and all that, it's like, yeah, it can be fun for people, but for me personally, I think it's way too early in a Fantastic Four movie.
Oh, yeah.
Like I want established Fantastic Four, like a good Fantastic Four team, good story. We don't need them to have, their kid yet. We want.
See, but that's well, I mean, with this series, they're gonna go. I guarantee you, at the end of this movie, this universe, this part section of the multiverse is gonna be destroyed. Either Galactus
Yeah.
is gonna destroy it, or Franklin Richards is going to transport everybody to the main Marvel Cinematic Universe. So this universe is going
Yeah.
to be gone after this movie.
You know what they
But,
call?
Oh,
You
yeah.
know what they call the MCU universe? You know the official name they gave the universe?
I remember it's a designation number, but I don't
Yeah.
remember.
No, they call it 616.
No, they don't. No.
Yes, they did. They did.
No, they can't.
Yes, they
that-
did because
that's-
of Doctor Strange mom. Multiverse.
No, because the 616
Yeah,
is the
it's
comic
the comics.
universe.
I know, but they did in in the movie. they said, Earth 616.
Okay. Yeah. That's. Okay. You just really upset me.
Yes. Yep.
But okay.
Netcats remembers that too.
Oh my
616.
god.
Yes,
I
they
really
did.
hope maybe it was a joke. Maybe it was a joke. I'm gonna pretend
Nope.
that it's a joke.
Just pretend it's a joke.
What
No,
what I do want to say real quick though, on your point, is that that's the problem with the Superman movie too, is that they're introducing way too many characters to have an origin story for a new Superman. So I think that that's really dumb that they're including Guy Gardner, Mr. Terrific, Hawk Girl, all these characters, and now we just found out the main villain
Yeah.
for the movie. Well, one of them, and now they're introducing white Martians, and
Yes.
yeah, I mean all sorts
Exactly.
of stuff. So and Crypto. Why introduce Crypto in the very
Yeah,
first
and that
movie?
scene they showed. Oh
It
God,
it
that was just
it
so stupid.
it sounds like this movie, Superman movie, is going to be a conglomeration of a bunch of different
It's a
Superman
cameo fest.
seasons. Yeah, exactly. That's all it is. It's
And
key
and Net
jangling. It's like, you remember
exactly.
this character? Okay,
You
do you
remember
like?
this? Yeah.
Yeah,
And Netcat also said, "I'm not a huge comic person, but I was even annoyed when I saw that."
yeah. That's
Yeah, so was I, because I was in the cinema watching the movie. And then, we have Doctor Strange in the new universe that he's in one of the multiverses. And then, the lover in that universe, his the girl that he loves in that universe, she talks about their universe, and it's classified as 616.
that's
And
insane.
I'm just like, seriously?
They had a classification for it before, but it wasn't
Yeah, even
616.
the funny thing is that the girl who plays Miss Marvel in the TV show and the Marvels, she even corrected that in one interview. She mentioned the real name. And I'm like, yeah, they had a name for that universe, for the movie
Yeah,
universe.
yeah. They
But
already had one. Why did they change it?
no, because they wanted to be the comic universe. They wanted to use,
But
they
it's
used to use the
not. It's everything but the comic universe.
Exactly. So no, that's the 616 now, it's not the comics anymore.
That's so stupid.
So they're gonna be transferred into 616. I'm sorry,
God.
Grid. I'm sorry, man.
Yeah, you're right. I'm looking it up. It was
Yep.
initially labeled Earth 1999999, and now it's designated Earth 616. Oh my God, that is so stupid.
Yep. Yep. So yeah, let's continue with this universe before we go to other universes.
Continue
Yeah,
torching me. Yes, continue
yeah.
to torture.
And hey,
What?
he's torturing me too.
You're gonna be the best mom in the world. And you are gonna be the best dad. Just kidding. You are out of your depth. We are gonna be the best uncles ever.
We can do this.
It's so sad because you have a great actor to play Johnny Storm, and I don't get the vibe of Johnny Storm. And especially when he came out and also said that it's not gonna be the Johnny Storm that we remember, who is like, this cool brat boy in a way, and he's gonna be, more intact with his feelings and people's
No,
feelings.
he's probably going to be bisexual and
Yeah.
something like that. I mean, it's going to
Yep.
be, yeah.
He's the he's the bottom here.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Things going to change.
And in the trailer too, I feel like she's like again. We know that she's gonna be the main star, but you get that from the trailer too. That she's like the one who has the best words here. Like she's like the more spiritual one. She's like the strong one here.
Well,
Of
she has the
stuff that
most
she's
to
saying.
do. She has the most to do, obviously. She's pregnant. She's going to give birth to Franklin and Valeria. She's obviously going to be the object of desire for Doctor Doom if they bring him in.
And she's gonna be a little malice, as she said.
Yeah, exactly. So it's this movie is basically just might as well call it Sue Storm.
Yeah, Sue Storm and the Fantastic Three.
Yeah, and those other people.
And those
Yeah.
other people. Here we go. Here we go. Are you guys ready for the best CGI you've ever seen
Yeah,
in
no,
a movie?
I don't know.
Are you the protectors of this world?
Yes, we are.
Your planet.
Yeah, I've seen
What
this
is
image.
this? Yeah.
This is
What
so
is this?
stupid. Yeah, just because they did it in the comics one time for one issue, it was in a multiverse. This is the stupidest thing ever. This is so dumb.
I just
What?
want a real Silver Surfer, man. I just want
Yeah,
this real Silver
Norrin
Surfer.
Rad. Norrin Rad
Yes.
was the shit. He is always going to be the Silver Surfer to me. Why ruin that?
Same here.
Why are you going to shit on his character? Why are you going to take that away from us? And the CGI, it looked better 20 years
Yeah.
ago when it was Lawrence Fishburne doing the voice, and it looked better then than it does now.
Because this is embarrassing CGI.
Seriously, this is so awful.
I have seen AI. I have seen fanfics, fan films and everything like that. That does 100 times better CGI.
But this is an excuse for them to skim off the top and take, the producers actually take some of the money and say that, oh yeah, we used it on a bunch of CGI, but for them to take it and, do what they want with it. I think that's what a lot of Hollywood is doing these days, is that they're saying that CGI is costing a lot more than it actually is and giving us this crap, and then taking
and then you have
excess.
people who can basically do it for free. 10 times better, like 100 times better.
Netcat Media, exactly. You said the word. You said the magic word, like Pee Wee Herman. You said the magic word.
No, I mean, give me Unreal Engine could do a better visual than this.
Yeah, exactly.
Look at Terminator. Terminator was in the 90s. The Terminator 2.
Yeah,
Terminator 2.
Terminator 2 is fantastic for its time.
Look at how good he looked when he transformed. Was it the T2000? The liquid metal. He looked awesome. You see, this looks like a PS1 video game.
This looks
going on.
This looks comparable to when whoever what was his name? The guy that doesn't matter, but the guy who did T2 and The Abyss. Cameron James
I don't
Cameron.
remember the name.
James
I know
Cameron.
What you know.
James
Yeah,
Cameron. So this looks like when they tried The Abyss. This looks comparable to when they first used this technology in the movie The Abyss. That's what this is comparable to. But the actual T2 looks so much better than this.
Yeah, and that was the 90s. This is 2025. You figured by now.
And Netcat said, I had a lesson in the 3D modeling from the guy in charge of the T2 special effects.
That's sick.
That's amazing.
Awesome. I need a lesson from him.
Yeah, and I also want to say, for especially like me and Tom, for example, we have worked with movie stuff, and we work with all this, behind cameras, editing, and all this kind of stuff. And we can also say straight out, like, there's so many people out there that can do so much better CGI for so cheap and make it look so real on everything that they do. So whatever Disney and those modern people are saying about movies, it's a bunch of fucking bullshit.
You could have did a better job with AI. You could, and I'm not against using AI. You should have used AI for this. That probably would have did a better job than whatever they used.
I could do with what I showed y'all earlier. I could do a better version of Silver Surfer with the program that I use.
Exactly.
For AI video.
And I'm not even complaining about the female part because that's annoying in its own right. I mean, sure, she was a female in the comics at one point. Yeah, but they're doing it to
for
check
one
a box.
issue. For one issue, though,
they're doing it here to check a box. We know.
Yeah,
we know them well enough.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So let's continue.
It's now marked for death.
It's my fault.
That scene was done so much better in the part 2 with like I was just saying with Lawrence Fishburne when Johnny Storm was chasing him around. That whole scene
was really good compared to this.
It really was. It got me so hyped for that movie when Silver Surfer caught him by the neck and just took away his power. God, that was so good. Going the digital effects of Silver Surfer literally.
Yeah, even that effects were good.
Yeah, exactly. Going through buildings, like, and the ripples, like, from the how they did it in the Matrix, like, that they just did it so much better than this scene. That's so stupid.
Even though Galactus was shit because it was a big cloud.
Yeah.
But at least that CGI was good.
Yeah, true.
I stretched the bounds of space.
And they hurt.
Interesting. Interesting.
Mm.
I'm wondering if they're going to use the incursions. I don't know if y'all know about the incursions in the comic books,
I
but
know what you talk about. Yeah.
yeah, so I'm wondering if they're going to do something like that where, instead of actually uh Galactus eating the world, if he comes to maybe try to say try to go into the next universe, because Galactus is an entity that spans there's only one Galactus in the entire multiverse. So he actually goes through different multiverses. There's not a Galactus for different multiverse universes. I don't know if y'all knew that, but
Yeah, no, exactly. And
he is the Galactus of the entirety of Marvel. There is no other. He is the destroyer, like and the heralds too.
yeah,
Uh,
and in the comics, they made him have a daughter now.
yeah. Is that are you serious? Are you oh my god.
Yes,
I did not know
and
that.
she looks like an anime character.
Oh, of course. Of course. Yeah.
Um, but no, since Sue Storm is gonna be so, amazing in this movie and caring, maybe she finds out that Galactus was just a misunderstood guy.
Yeah.
He was just hungry. He didn't have a father or mother.
Yeah.
So no.
Poor Galactus. Yeah, he just had
Yes.
such a troubled life, and
Yes.
taking on heralds, commanding them after destroying their planets and all their loved ones. Just
Yeah.
such a poor sad guy. And then
Yeah.
I'm sure Sue Storm. There's going to be a love triangle between Silver Surfer and Reed Richards, and
That would be great, right?
of course, yeah, that's what we've always wanted to see, right?
Exactly.
Are we safe?
I don't think
No.
so.
Yeah.
Let this one say, because what he says really pisses me off here.
I don't know.
You're supposed to be the smartest
Yeah.
man in the world,
Yeah.
and you're gonna cause riots, you complete
Yeah,
moron.
yeah,
Like,
exactly.
no, Reed would not say that. I don't know.
But that completely proves that they have no interest in reading the comics. They don't care
Yeah.
what
Exactly.
these characters are. They don't care who they are or what they represent or anything like that.
Like
They
when you
just
think
care
about Reed Richards, like he would have said something smart to the
Yes.
people to calm them down.
To assure them and make
Exactly,
them feel
exactly.
good.
Even
No, I
even
don't
if he
know.
knows that's gonna go bad, he's gonna still try
Exactly.
to calm them down because he's the
Exact-
smartest guy alive, basically.
Exactly. Exactly. And he always has some kind of theory of what is happening, or a way to prevent whatever's happening from happening.
Exactly.
Stand on that. Now we see why many people backed out of playing Reed Richards in this film. Because remember,
Yep.
they had multiple people say nope, and backed out because I probably
Exactly.
realized, oh, that's not really Reed Richards. It's some, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, exactly.
What if we find out that this is actually Tony Stark, and Tony Stark has been Doctor Doom, and
exactly.
that would make more sense, but I would still fucking shoot myself. I mean, in the toe. I don't want to.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, no, I get what you mean, but no, it's like they're treating him like a beat up, broken father. Like that's what Pedro Pascal 90% plays of the time. Like he's a failed father figure in a way.
Yeah.
Well, he's a white male. Let's be honest. They want to
True.
push that.
True.
narrative.
He's evil.
He's
So
a
he's
lost white
automatically
male,
evil.
so-
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah,
There's not enough time.
I'm not giving up.
so
And-
she's the one
and
who's
I'm
not
so-
giving up.
And I'm so sick of his emotionless acting. He has nothing. He's just stoic the entire time. There's nothing on his face that shows any emotion when he's saying his lines. It's just he's basically just there. I mean, he has
Emotionless.
yeah, he's completely emotionless. He's just reading his lines as Pedro Pascal. He's not reading them as Reed Richards. Just like maybe he did give a little effort in The Mandalorian. I'll give him that. But every other role I've seen him in, it's this emotionless, piece of garbage, and I'm so
Yeah.
sick of it.
Exactly. No, I'm happy you said it because I feel a lot of the same way, with him. And here, we have a little bit Shadow of Galactus. It's so sad.
Which does look cool though. I
Yeah,
will give it that.
exactly. It's like finally we have a
But
so fucking good looking
see,
Galactus.
but you know what?
Fuck.
I'm really scared because this is just a shadow, and this gives us like the hint that they actually got it right. I really do not want to to see the actual Galactus and then see that it is completely different than what I'm envisioning in my mind. I'm gonna be
Yep.
so. I mean, not that anything is really gonna disappoint me any more than it already has. But
Yep.
I mean, this
And
movie's already
Netcat said,
shit the bed.
Pedro seems to be the actor Disney uses when no one else wants the part.
Exactly.
Yep.
And then he also said even when he was in The Mandalorian, yeah, he wasn't great in The Mandalorian, but he at least showed a little bit of range in his
Yep.
acting. But that could also be because his face was blocked, and it was
Yes.
and he had to vocalize his emotions.
Because it's two actors who are under the suit. Because I also remember Pedro Pascal talk about this. The outfits, it's a little tight. And then I'm just like, you're an actor. You're supposed to like work out, fitted. All that kind of stuff. It's like no. It's it's too
No.
tight.
Are you kidding? That would be like reading comics for a superhero
Yeah.
movie.
No, so it was two other actors, under the suit. One of them was Lateef Crowder. He was a YouTube stuntman in the beginning, and then he did a lot of stunt movies. He's a black guy, do capoeira and stuff like that. Really fantastic guy. I love him in a lot of movies that he's done with martial arts. And I'm like, why didn't you just fucking cast him instead? Like he he would have been better for the part.
Yeah. And Netcat Media was saying, no, I'm commenting that he wasn't even there a lot. Yeah.
He wasn't
Yeah.
a lot. That was
Yeah.
mostly stuntman, and he was just dubbing over.
Yeah.
We will face this together.
Oh, this
And-
looks
and-
so bad.
And you know what? The third thing, if there's going to be three things that I like about this trail or about this whole universe, it's the aesthetic of the world. It
Yep.
is the shadow of Galactus, and it's the Fantastic Car. The Fantastic Car does look pretty cool,
Yeah, of course. No, I agree with that.
but other than that, everything
Yeah.
else seems pretty shitty.
Exactly.
We will fight it together.
She's the one who's gonna be the leader here. We're gonna fight this together. We're gonna do this
Yeah.
together.
Well, you were there for that article. I mean, you actually brought it to our attention, I think,
Yeah.
on Skolcast. But they don't, by not reading the comics, they don't realize that Sue Storm doesn't just have the ability to go invisible. She has psychic abilities. She has telekinetic abilities. She has force field, very powerful. I mean, she is one of the most powerful psychics.
Female characters too.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, female character, but psychics,
Yep.
telekinetics. I mean, she isn't quite there with Jean Grey, but she's up there. I mean, she's one of the most
Yeah.
powerful, and they just completely circumvent that by saying, because she in the comics she's more of a background character. That's why you read the comics to realize that what you just said is fucking wrong. Sorry if I can't say that.
You can say
is
fucking.
wrong.
That's fine.
Okay. All right, is wrong completely. Like, you do not understand the character if you don't understand that Sue Storm, the Invisible Woman, Invisible Girl, whatever you want to call her, is one of the most powerful psychics and telekinetics.
But according to Vanessa, if they played that version of her, she would be a doormat. The favorite
Of
word
course.
to Tom here. He
Yeah.
was so happy when he heard that.
As a family.
And every time I hear family, I think about Fast and the Furious.
See, this is what I was talking about. Look how big he is here. I'm wondering if they're gonna make him grow.
Yep.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, because I didn't
this-
think about it first time I didn't think about that, but yeah, he is big here, so
He's huge, a lot bigger than he was before. And when he picked
Yup.
up that Volkswagen, I mean,
Yup.
look at those. I mean, those chains are huge
yep.
on those boats. So what? Yeah, that kind of proves that they're my theory is probably pretty spot on.
Yeah, you have a good theory there. So no, I agree that it looks like he is bigger. We see it here. It's no theory that he's bigger here.
Yeah, he
It,
definitely is bigger.
yeah, so they have to do something like that, as we mentioned earlier. So yeah. And Netcat said they don't bother reading source material. They have an assistant read it, give details out of context, or at least that's my opinion.
Actually,
But
no.
Yeah.
They've proven they don't read it. They've actually openly said we don't read it.
Exactly.
Yeah,
they
they
For
have a
thi-
whole
said they
interview about
Yeah.
it.
For this movie specifically, they said, well, actually, for a lot of the movies, they said we're not. We tell the actors to not read source material. The thing that made the Punisher good was that he actually, John Barenthal, wanted to do research on the character.
Oh, he did.
Yes,
and he
He
went
soaked it
into
up.
exactly.
he went into a comic shop, and the guy said, "Aren't you the guy that's going to play the Punisher?" And this is a story that came from John Barenthal anyway. And
Yep.
he said yes, and he said because he came to the cashier with a bunch of Punisher comics.
Yes, he did.
And,
Yeah, he said so. Yeah.
and the guy was, or the guy or girl, whoever it was like, no, okay, just get rid of these. These are the ones you need to focus on, and you'll get the Punisher right. So
Yep.
that's why you go to comic book shops and do your research.
Yeah, do your
on the
research,
character.
understanding that you don't need to read everything, but at least read enough and find the right comics to understand the character, the source, who this person is, so you know how to play the character.
Yeah.
It's not that hard, you know?
No, not at all.
It is really not. So let's continue.
Has to be us.
Finally, we see him use his powers.
Yeah.
We will protect you.
I hate this. I hate that part. At least Galactus is big.
Yeah. We will protect you.
We know what's going to happen. The universe is going to die. That planet's doomed.
Yep.
They're going to be put elsewhere. So it's kind of already given.
Yeah. God.
And I don't like that ending when it just like
Yeah.
Fantastic Four.
Yeah, well, and right before that, we will protect you. Like he doesn't give a shit. Like there's no enthusiasm. There is no like
It's no
hope.
emotion. And
There- yeah,
I
there's
watched
no
Why
hope
didn't he
for
Galactus
say
that had
that
emotions.
earlier?
Exactly.
Like, he should have said that earlier.
Yeah,
when
when they
I
asked
don't know.
him.
No.
Well, and the way he
Oh.
said it too was just so nonchalant. Just like, yeah, we will protect you. Like you pieces of shit. Like we couldn't give a shit less about you.
Either that,
but
or he's
yeah.
too stoned or something. Or he just
Yeah,
thought of it,
I mean,
I just
yeah.
had my coffee for the morning.
Yeah, I mean, there is no one. I mean, if this was happening in real life and that was the message we got from our leaders, it would just be like, okay, we're fucked. You know?
Like I said,
Yep.
I know why they do it, because he's a straight white male character, so we're gonna make him look pathetic and bad.
That's true. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I'm so sick of that. By the way, like now all of a sudden it's hip and cool to be ist versus against white people. It's just so stupid. I'm so sick of it.
Yeah.
Yep.
No.
So, any final thoughts that you want to mention on a Fantastic Four?
Not thoughts, but I gotta wipe my ass after taking that big shit.
Dude, I want to see
Exactly.
Thunderbolts. I don't ever want to watch that trailer again, let alone see that. No. Will I download it when it comes up, or find a way to watch it when it comes up? Yeah, I probably
Yeah,
will, 'cause
yeah.
I'm torturous.
Yeah.
I watched Captain Falcon just to give it a chance. I was
Yeah.
like, okay, I like the Hulk scene, I like that, but I won't want to ever watch that again. That was trash. I was like, no. Well, Thunderbolts, I actually might go to the theater to see that, because that actually looks cool. I was like, okay, this looks
Yeah,
random.
I am looking forward to
I'm-
that too. And, a lot of,
Yeah.
it's like kind of a last shot at redemption, if they
Yeah.
can make this movie decent at least. But, yeah, I'm gonna watch it. The trailer sold me. At least the actors have not gone out there and talked about what they're doing or their views.
Exactly.
They've just shut up about. And again, that's a good thing. Like, you're a professional liar. That's your job, and you just talk about the movies. That what you're
I
excited
brought
for
this.
about the movie and stuff like that. Don't talk about your politics and all this other bullshit.
Yeah.
I brought this point up during Was It the Beyond, and I also brought it up at Mike's show too, and I'm going to bring it up again. Whoever works for PR and Disney needs to be fired. Because look, Mackie goes out and we're promoting Captain America. It's Captain Falcon. Captain America isn't actually about America. Actually, he is.
Oh,
That's his
God.
quintessential
Yeah.
It's
pinpoint
in
of
his name.
character.
It's
Yeah.
in his
Complete
name
mo-
too, and his suit.
But it's what he is. He's a proud American. That's why he served. That's why he got that. It's exactly why. Like it's the quintessential percent anyway. And now they bring this out, and then the first trailer looked cool, but then Johnny Storm, the guy, whatever his name is, actor, he says, "Oh, he's not going to be the frat boy. He's going to be more in touch with this." Well, that's not Johnny Storm. And then she opened her mouth. "Oh, she was a doormat in the comic." No, you've just shot yourself in the foot and you've ruined it. Whoever's on had a PR, I'd be saying, shut your friggin' mouths on these tours. Just talk about the movie, talk about the aesthetics, talk about your role, but don't. But they don't stop them.
Yeah.
So
unless you actually care about your character and have done some research into the comic books and shown that you actually give a shit, don't say anything. I completely agree.
Yeah. It's just you're ruining the movie when you say stuff like that. The fans are going to react bad. Like, who's in charge here? I'd be like, shut your mouth.
But that's the thing, is that the people in charge are encouraging that kind of talk. So
they don't like money. So anyway,
well, no, it's not that they don't like money. It's that they like they like people being brainwashed into believing what they think more.
But they must realize they're smart enough. They know that's going to lose money. This is not going to make money. Saying stuff like that, they should. As a business person, I've taken business courses. You don't do that to the public that's going to pay the money for this. You're not going to get new fans. Let's be honest. It's the people that are fans already, and you're going to lose them for saying that. So I'm like, they're not too intelligent there in the business offices. I could do a better job. I'm sorry. I know I could.
I think the issue is though that they've hired yes men, people that actually do follow the comics, and basically instead of actually standing up for what the comics should be, they're a bunch of yes men and women that are just saying like, "Oh yeah, what you're doing is great. Yeah, it hasn't been done in the comic." It's
incredible what the paycheck can do to
you.
I wouldn't even give them that much credit. I don't think they have anybody who has knowledge there anymore. Like,
you don't think so?
Some
I know
people
exactly.
Do,
yeah.
I don't think they have knowledge. They don't care. They're just like hire these people that are. I think they're more DEI hires, and they're going to back that.
Well, but that's what I'm saying. But that's what I'm saying, though. That's what I mean by yes men, is that they're people that already are a bunch of people that go along with this stuff. And even though they know what has happened in the comics and why people care about these characters, I mean, the proof's in the pudding. The people that actually write these comics now, they are these DEI hires also, and they're changing the comic characters to be more like the movies. So they're trying to that might be why they're calling it the 616 now, because they're combining it.
Do you remember they made a comic that they were gonna do when you had the character Snowflake,
internet gas man, and
and all that shit.
Wasn't it? Oh gosh, I'm blanking out right now just because this trailer made me feel I lost brain cells. Blue character shapeshifts in X-Men. Help me out here. You know what I'm talking about.
Morph.
What did you say?
Oh, Morph.
No, female.
Mystique.
Which Mystique?
Yeah, she's not a shapeshifter anymore. She was a gene. What would they rename her as again? They totally altered it and it was dumb.
Yeah,
as hell.
they have changed that character. Also made her, she was the one who got pregnant, lesbian. They changed the backstory to Nightcrawler, and again, Nightcrawler's father is Azazel, who is more of a demon and stuff like that, and that's why he looks like his father with the tail and the teleport powers, and he looks like a demon. And then he has the skin of his mother, who is Mystique. But no. They changed it last year. They changed it to, because this is also Chris Claremont's fault, even though I like Chris Claremont.
Yeah, I do too.
But he had some issues because back in the day, Mystique has always been bisexual. She was always intended to be bisexual.
Yeah, exactly.
But in the comics, what he wanted to do many years ago, but he got denied by Marvel at the time with Stan Lee on them, because he wanted, Destiny to be the main lover and also have children together. But at that time, Marvel was like, no, that's not okay, and that's right. It's not okay. That's not how it works. So they made a Cecil. They made a great story with the Cecil and make him the father. But now, last year, they went back on that idea and they made Destiny the mother of. Yeah, yeah. That's how it went.
Mm.
They are the parents, Destiny and Mystique, because Mystique can transform into a man and have sex, and then
Yeah.
apparently she can produce. So made her lover pregnant, and then they got Nightcrawler. And again, by making them doing that, you also destroy a lot of Nightcrawler's origin, because remember, he's a Christian character.
Yeah.
Oh, they don't want that. Though.
Yeah, he's a Christian character. They removed a lot of his traits of being a Christian character. And that's
Sucks.
a lot of his character. He's a Christian. It's a big part of his
No,
character.
it's a central part of his character. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
that's why I love that, because he was the first character to really be that was his not only was he a Christian, but that was the foundation on what he believes. And
Yeah, they made him the way he is too, and how he thinks about the world and a lot of other stuff
exactly.
too.
Exactly, and that's why he had such forgiveness for people and all that. I mean, there was just such a great story with that, and for them to screw that up,
Exactly.
yeah,
And it's really sad they screw that up. And I'm like, dude, this is so fucked up. It is the same thing that they did a comic with the Joker making him pregnant, and I'm like, dude, this is so stupid.
God, yeah. In the Transformers comics, I just saw that they're trying to make babies, organic babies, with
Yeah,
Transformers. Yeah, so
yeah.
there's a lot of weird shit going on.
And also talking about some stuff, we're gonna go a little bit through this, because I've been watching Star Wars Celebration. That's now, and there's a lot of announcement they're suddenly talking about. But I have not heard anything about Ryan Johnson, the Ray movie.
Hmm. I hope we never do.
And I know, Tom, you wanted you wanted them to take a break, right?
Yeah, 5 years. Give it 5 so years, and then just start over. So.
Well, we're gonna get a little bit into the big announcement of Star Wars Celebration, the 2 days that's been. So of course we have, had 2 days of Star Wars Celebration, and a lot of fun, right?
Oh yeah.
So first of all, Hayden Christensen is returning in Ahsoka season 2.
I have heard that.
Um,
Yeah, he's going to
he
be
an-
a bigger. He's going to play a bigger part in this season.
and I want to say this: where were Anakin when Luke needed him in the sequels?
Yeah.
When he almost killed his own nephew.
Yep. Exactly.
Yes.
I don't even want to get started into that. That is that's the part where I was just like, Luke, this is not the Luke Skywalker I know.
Oh no, we know how he was. He didn't. When when he fought his father, we saw what he did. He refused to kill his father because he understood.
Yeah.
We have the whole moment, a powerful moment.
Was it you that told me that there was an alternate scene that they were filming where instead of Luke Skywalker coming in while Ben was sleeping, Ben actually came in and tried to kill Luke, and that's
That
why.
was my fan edit, the
Oh,
scene that
that.
I
Oh,
created in my.
okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay. So it
Yeah.
wasn't actually okay. So
I did
remember.
better.
Yeah, exactly. That would have been cool.
But
I would.
some announcement, of course, is that Admiral Akbar is returning. And remember, he just died in The Last Jedi. They just killed him off and not caring.
Mm-hmm.
He was a big character and a fan favorite. And he has the best meme ever. It's a trap.
It's a trap.
And of course, the character of Seb is doing his first appearance in Ahsoka, the return of the Mortis gods, and of course, they are recasting Balin Skoll, the only thing that I did enjoy in Ahsoka, because of Ray Stevenson, rest in peace. Because
Mhm.
again, he's an actor who knows what to do. Even if he has a bad script, he can pull it off, because it's Ray. And unfortunately, he died. He passed away. But Roy McCain is a good actor. He was in Game of Thrones. He's a good actor. He was good friends with Ray. So again, good casting. That's all I'm gonna say about that. And of course, we have a showdown between Ahsoka and Balin. And of course, I have my views on Ahsoka. I think she's never been canon, in my view.
Yeah. I mean, she kind of just got thrown in there with the Clone Wars.
Yeah. Um, and of course, we did get the announcement of Sean Levy's upcoming movie, Star Wars Starfighter, with, of course, Ryan Gosling.
Oh.
How do you guys feel about that? Ryan Gosling in a Star Wars movie.
I mean,
I like Gosling.
I do
Canadian.
too.
It's like so. I mean, I think he can pull it off. I mean,
I mean, yeah, if the writing's good, but I don't have faith in the writing.
Exactly. Starfighter will set a few years after Rise of Skywalker. Or as I like to call it, the Rise of Soy Milker.
Yeah. They really just need to scrap the entire last trilogy, and start fresh and pretend like that was just an alternate universe that
Yeah.
didn't actually happen.
And the movie will be released on May 28th, 2027. We will see. We will see. You know, when it comes to the movie announcements, they can never hold it.
No.
But they did describe that Starfighter is a standalone movie with unique characters, not a prequel or a sequel. So it's a standalone, they say. You know, it is Sean Levy. He's done some Deadpool stuff with,
Yeah, Sean Levy's
Rhinos.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it depends on the writing, but it's hard to have faith in anything.
It's true.
And of course, we are getting more Darth Maul. Well, he's
Yep.
not Darth anymore. He's just Maul. He's not a Darth anymore. But we're getting more of him. So of course, Sam is returning as the voice of Darth Maul.
yeah.
And the focus on Maul's role as a leader of the crime syndicate during the Imperial era, the introduction of the dark side apprentice of Darth Maul, who may or may not be Talon. Talon is one of my favorite characters in the expanded universe of female characters. And again, it won't fit completely, but there is no canon. Why do we even mention? There is no canon here.
Yeah. It's really
And-
sad. Yeah.
Yeah, and I know everybody also talks about the old Maul game that was going to come up many years ago that they did a test footage from, and Darth Talon was supposed to be part of it. And a lot of people said, this is Darth Maul, but there's one fact that they forgot about that thing. It wasn't really Maul. The thing that they talked about is that it is, a guy who's in the family of Maul, that because they just look like each other, or he was a clone of Maul. That's the two things they talked about, not that it was Maul himself. But that is coming out in 2026, and here is the logo for it. It's called Shadow Lord. Are you guys gonna give that a chance?
No. I mean, honestly, I'm pretty done with Star Wars for now. Like, and go ahead.
I will because one, I love Maul. One of my favorite characters. I've always liked Maul. And two, I like Sam. I told you, Days Gone is one of my all-time favorite games.
Yeah,
He
Sam
voices,
Witwer is a good voice actor and actor.
He is.
I'm a huge
Yeah.
fan of his, and like I said, Days Gone one of the best. And so I'll give it a chance. I like the Maul character and the lore to Maul, so I'll give it a chance definitely. And
Yeah,
like I said, Sam does a great
And
job.
then I want to say this: we are gonna get back to our favorite actor, Pedro Pascal.
Oh yeah, of course.
Yes, so I have
I'll-
seen the trailer.
I'll give it a chance after I hear good stuff about it. But I'm just over anything Star
Yeah.
Wars right now. I'm just so
So-
sick
I'm
of.
with you. You get
Yeah.
burned
Yeah.
out 'cause
Yeah, no,
it's
I
shoved
get
down
you.
here.
Yeah.
So I will say this: I have seen the trailer of Mandalorian and Grogu, the full trailer that they showed on Star Wars Celebration. Unfortunately, we cannot show it on YouTube because we are gonna get blocked
Mhm.
Yeah.
by Disney. But I got to see it, and it looks shit. It looks shit. So of course we have a battle between Din Djarin, Pedro Pascal, and Imperials inside an Imperial Walker. And of course, Weaver's character, she's in it.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have Jabba Hutt's son, Rota, who is a beast with muscles.
Yeah, I did see an image of that.
And he looked weird. And of course, the return of Razor Crest and the Jaren Walker over Seb, with Seb, who's also going to be in this. He is from Rebels. It's still weird that he was not in the Ahsoka show because he was a big part of Rebels. And of course, Grogu using the Force. And again, I would say this: I hate Grogu. Grogu should never be
No,
a thing.
I love Grogu. Grogu's awesome. I like him.
One thing I hope,
I would have liked him if he would have stayed with Luke.
and I would have liked it if it was just one episode of a mission.
Yeah, Luke, the CGI AI deep fake of Luke Skywalker, he needs to have his own show. Screw Luke, screw Mark Hamill, get the whoever did the
acting,
the acting
the
for
body and all that,
the deep fake, and do a whole
and
show.
don't do deep fake. Just let
Exactly.
the guy play because he looks like Luke.
Exactly. They really need to go into like Heir of the Empire, the books, and stuff like that. Which again, this is going back to the whole comic thing where they don't want people to read the comics. They don't want people to read the books either because that would
because it doesn't exist.
Yeah, exactly. So
that's what Kathleen Kennedy said.
Yeah.
And of course, we did get some more footage of Underworld that they're doing right now. With Asajj Ventress, who, did not die, apparently. Because if you read one of the books that's connected with the Clone Wars, she dies. She dies, but apparently she didn't die. But what is continuity in Disney Star Wars? What's continuity?
Yeah.
And then, of course, they did show some footage of old shows with Clone Wars. I don't understand why. Like, there's no point of showing it. You're not going to use it either way. What's the point? And then we got the announcement that they're doing a new Knights of Ren comic.
Oh, good. Good. Yeah, that's what we need.
And then we have Tava Ren, a female Ren, apparently.
Yeah, got to have one of those.
Yes. And the whole backstory to the Wrens are not what we were told in the movies, and the stories of the Wrens are totally different in the comics. Because I've read the Ren comics with Kylo Ren. I checked them out to see what it was, and it's not what you think it is.
Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
It's a bad thing. Everything is bad. Yeah.
I wouldn't think
don't
so.
even care.
Yep. You even learned that the one who destroyed Luke Skywalker's temple was not Knight. It was not Kylo. It was basically, you can say Palpatine and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. And then, of course, we had some announcement with Star Wars Outlaws, a game that flopped.
Yeah.
So that is like just the fast through of the big announcement. I just thought it was important to mention because it's a big day with a lot of announcement from this Star Wars Celebration in Japan.
Yeah. With May the 4th coming up, I mean, they really have nothing to show. I mean, this is all just. I don't give a shit.
Yeah, and also remember, if you're gonna play Star Wars Outlaws, you have to pay for one of the DLCs. You have to pay extra.
Of course you do.
Hey,
but
I think of May the 4th, for me, it's free comic book day. It'll probably be the day before that, but it's usually free comic book day at any comic book shop. So.
But I just want to say this: the only thing that I did enjoy, I watched, both Star Wars Celebration so far. And we have both of the actors who played, Boba Fett and Jango Fett, right? They came up on stage, and that was the only thing that I enjoyed because, one, they didn't really talk a lot about, the TV shows or anything like that. They just talked about their experience, their friendship, because they're best friend in real life. Because the guy who plays, what is his name again? Who plays Jango and Boba Fett? oh, I always forget his name, but he talked about, you know, the young actor who plays young Boba Fett, right? He talked that what I liked his story that he talked about when they first met, you know, on Attack on the Clones.
Hmm.
Because the guy who played, you know, the young Boba Fett, he never had a father figure in real life or anything like that. So the guy who plays Jango Fett and Boba Fett, he talked about, you know, basically became father and son in real life. And remember, they are Maury, you know,
Hmm.
and stuff like that too. So, you know, there's already that passion between them. So they became like, you know, father and son in real life. And they just talked a lot about that on, you know, the good things that you should talk about on the movies, right? Talk about experiences, what was fun, you know? So that was a really touching, beautiful moment. And then the guy who plays Jango Fett and Boba Fett, he brings his daughter up on stage. That was really cute moment, you know, with family and stuff like that. So that is the only thing that I enjoyed, like from Star Wars Celebration, because it was like a sweet moment. You understand? So
Yeah.
that was like the only sweet moment I will say they had there. And of course, we had the guy who plays C-3PO, Anthony.
Hmm. Anthony.
He
Yeah, I forgot his
he's the
last
most
name.
douchebaggy person you will ever meet.
Really?
If you read his book,
Well,
if you
even
read his
more than
book,
George Takai.
he's up
George
there. Oh yeah,
George
yeah, he's up there.
I met George Takai. He is the
Yeah,
big I was 9
yeah.
years
And
old and he
Anthony
is
loves
such an
himself
asshole
more than
to me.
anything else.
Yeah.
More than anything else. Even in his book, it's all about him. And he complains that he hated being C-3PO. And I'm like, bro, you would be poor
You'd
without
be
being. You would be
nothing. Yeah.
nothing.
Yeah.
And he was also on a show that Vice TV did, and that was also made. Disney owns like was it 30% or something of Vice TV, and that show was only about trashing George Lucas.
Of
Yeah,
course. Yeah.
yeah, and they said Marcia Lucas was the one who did almost everything on Star Wars, even the story.
Oh, I do remember hearing stuff about that. Yeah.
Yeah, and I have to say, I have read the concepts before she was ever part of the movies. It's all 90% is George Lucas's story.
Yeah.
Did she help with certain stuff? Yes, because it was his wife at the time.
Exactly. Yeah.
But it was still his story, and he's the one who was in charge of all of that. But yeah, Anthony, they made a lot of jokes. The host made a lot of jokes about, you know, Anthony being selfish and all that kind of stuff. It was just so awkward, so fucked up.
It's so
So fucked
sad.
up.
Yeah.
Uh, but we are going to talk about some more interesting stuff before we get into wrestling and stuff like that. And this article I want to bring up because of Grid here, who's also a fellow Power Ranger fan. And we're going to talk about an article that was published 2 days ago, and that is 10 things fans want to see in the Power Rangers reboot. So that is going to be interesting. So, Tom, I don't know how much you know about Power Rangers.
Not nearly much, no. But
I turned on my
Oh, yeah,
Theta
it's
Ranger.
so cool. Yeah, I
Thank you.
love that. So, this is from CBR. 10 things fans want to see in Power Rangers reboot. For 30 years, the Power Rangers franchise has delivered action-packed adventures following a team of multicolored suit heroes defending Earth from evil. After the premiere of Power Rangers Cosmic Fury, and I will say that is a big disappointment, only thing I liked in the show was seeing Billy again. That's all I cared about.
Yeah.
Everything else I did not care about because one, yes, Zed looked cool to a certain point, but it
Yeah.
was the story.
Yeah. Master
Uh,
Zed did look pretty awesome. I have to give it that.
Yeah, but the problem is they try to be Marvel. Even the writer and stuff like that compare the show with with Marvel and Star Wars and stuff like that. And he was not a fan of Power Rangers in general, just trashed it, and he wanted them to go away from the roots of Power Rangers.
That's
He
so
said
dumb.
that himself, and I'm like, that's a guy you have on board. He wants to go away from the source material of Power Rangers, what made it popular, and
Yeah.
make it
Well,
more like Star Wars and Marvel.
yeah. Well, that's exactly it. I think Yeah, that makes perfect sense. They're trying to use the formula that Disney is using for all their properties by, not actually caring about the franchise itself.
No, exactly. And again, never go away from the roots of Power Rangers. I will say, yes, they can create their own stuff with swords and suits and all that. Do that too, of course. But you have to have a good story and keep it to what Power Rangers is. Having the big sword fights, having the story of have the seriousness and have the humor, the childishness for all people. Don't you agree?
Yeah, of course.
Exactly. So, the series went on hiatus with the promise of a Netflix reboot in the works. Unfortunately, Netflix reboot was scrapped, leaving fans with no new content. And I will say, the film that they did, that unfortunately Jason David Frank was not in,
Hmm.
but a little film they did, how they honored Jason, how they honored, the actress of Trini and all that.
Yeah,
Amazingly done. And, that she had a daughter and stuff. And I like that actor who plays the daughter. I'm like, get her back.
yeah,
You have a good opportunity to continue like a morphing series now with her and new characters who can take over. You have the perfect time. Introduce JJ, the son of Jason, the son of
exactly,
Tommy.
exactly.
Introduce these new people. Yes, you don't need to connect it with the comics because the comics are all over the place. That's like multiverses on multiverses.
Yeah, I mean, there's a character, Matt Reeves, I think is his name. That's the new Green Ranger or something like that. There's like a
Again,
whole corporation on Earth that's connected to the Morphin Grid thanks to Billy, and
yeah, notice a lot of that too. And it's
there's
like
a lot of weird stuff. Yeah,
you have a good opportunity to continue here, right? But no, no, no. So I feel bad for the actress because I will give her this. She did her own stunts. She is a martial artist in real life and everything. I'm like, that is perfect. That's what we need in Power Ranger series.
yeah. I
We
mean,
need to
that's
go
the
back
whole
to the
reason that
formula.
they got the original actors. Austin St. John, and I mean, they all
Yes,
they all had their own abilities, in martial arts or
exactly.
gymnastics, stuff like that.
Exactly.
So yeah,
So, fortunately, Disney Plus has announced,
that is a cool looking Megazord original.
yeah,
Yeah,
but the people who write this article are not fan of it.
no.
But Disney Plus, and that's concerning. That is concerning.
Hmm.
Has announced its plans of an upcoming Power Rangers reboot with Percy Jackson and the Olympics producers.
Yeah, I've talked about that
Oh,
before. Yeah,
I didn't
I've
even know they were part of it.
yeah, I hear a lot of the bigger YouTube Power Ranger YouTubers. They're all hyped about this. I didn't know what to
Mm,
say. I was in one of the calls with some of them and
yeah,
talking about it, and I just
yeah,
yeah, I'll see it, but I'm not too thrilled about it.
yeah. Because we saw what happened with the Percy Jackson TV series. What they did.
I didn't. I don't know much about Percy Jackson at all. I
No, they
just
disrespected everything. It was
oh yeah.
terrible. Yeah, and race swapped characters again,
Oh
and
yeah.
yeah,
Well, they're doing the same thing with Harry Potter.
yes, with Snape.
Yeah. Yeah.
Harry Potter and James Potter is gonna be hardcore racists.
Oh, of course. Well, no, you're not even stretching the truth. I guarantee you they're gonna make James Potter racist. That's why he picked on Snape and all this stuff. They're gonna make it out to be like he
Yeah,
was picking on him because he was a black man, even though in the
yeah, no,
books
exactly.
he was a very gaunt, paled skin man, completely. I don't even want to get into that. That's so
Yeah,
yeah.
but yeah, let's talk about more Power Rangers.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, of course, it's Jonathan A. Steinberg and Dan Schatz as the showrunners. With this new reboot, several improvements from the original series that fans wish to see, and following these wishes could give the franchise the wider audience appeal it has been lacking. I don't think Power Rangers have ever really been lacking in that kind of sense, and again, they have to remember 9% of the shoots in the suits and the sword fights are from Super Sentai.
Exactly. Wasn't there something recently where the Dino Megazord came back in Super Sentai and protected the new Megazord
In Super Sentai,
in Super Sentai? Yeah.
I have not seen the
And
newest episodes of the new seasons, so
I
I need
saw
to. Yeah,
I
I need to.
saw a clip where Dino Megazord, he's wearing like a cloak, kind of like a Jedi would, but you can see his head, and he comes in and he protects the Zord
Yeah.
for the
Oh, I don't
season.
remember it right now, but
Yeah,
I'm gonna watch.
yeah.
So
Let me know what it is, like
yeah,
about
yeah.
it and stuff.
Remember, it's so many seasons that I'm going through.
Yeah,
So,
exactly. No, and it's
but
the newest season too, so I
yeah.
understand.
So of course, this was the CGI they did. Also, with the movie that they came out with, and I didn't hate it. You know what they did? I didn't hate it.
Yeah.
Is it the best CGI? No, but it doesn't matter because it will still look cool looking.
It looks a lot better than the movie, the original
Oh
movie that
yeah,
they tried to
yeah.
do with the Ninja Megazord. Oh my
Yeah,
god.
yeah, yes. So one of the most distraction aspects of Power Rangers that has turned away the wider audience is the CGI.
Hmm.
There has not really been so much CGI through Power Rangers. It's been a few times, but they also have to remember that a lot of the scenes are from Japan.
Exactly.
While the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers era managed to mostly avoid this issue by using practical effects, and again, a lot of the stuff was from Super Sentai. I feel
That's
like
why it looks so good too. Like
yes,
I remember like the Green Ranger costume. I remember
yes,
in episodes it would change, like the dragon shield would be like really flimsy looking in a lot of shots, and I'd be like, why does that happen? And I found out later in life that was because they had to remake the costumes because
yeah,
they were running out of Green Ranger footage, and basically they just didn't want to make the costume look as good, so they cheaped out on
yeah.
the uh the materials.
Yeah, no, exactly. So, the later season featured a lot of CGI that really showed that the show's low budget. And again, a lot of that came from Japan. And I won't say that it's low budget in Japan.
Yeah,
Because they spend a lot on these shows. And I've seen a lot of Super Sentai, and they spend a lot in it.
yeah.
Um,
And Common Rider too. I mean,
yes,
there's so many of the yeah, there's so many great shows that they
exactly.
yeah.
While this switch from practical effects to CGI came from the Japanese counterparts, exactly, Super Sentai, the few cases of Power Rangers original CGI weren't any better. So they're like trashing both.
Yeah, you know what I would have liked to have seen, that fan film that they did, a while it was a while ago, but they had some, pretty big name actors in it,
Yeah,
and they had, like, the Black Ranger, he got into drugs and stuff like that, and,
yeah, that fan
all
film,
yeah,
that
that
dark
fan
one,
film.
yeah,
I would have liked to see them do something like that for us old time, Ranger fans from the
yeah,
very
just like what
beginning.
Japan did for the older fans. They made like a really fucked up Super Sentai show just for the older fans, like
Oh, I
to.
didn't know they did that, but
Yeah, they
yeah,
did that.
they should have done something like that for us older fans that,
It's not
we're
gonna happen.
no, I know it's not, but, uh, I really wish they
Yeah,
would have because it would have shown that, the progression of us as kids that loved the show and the way that they did those episodes
yeah,
back then met the quality and expectations of a child, and now that we're older, we wanna see
yeah.
more adult themes and stuff like that, not, you don't have to do it to such an extent, but it would have been cool to do
Just a little,
something.
yeah.
Yeah. Anyway,
Um, and the once and always reunion special, I still liked it.
yeah,
Other than one thing that they had to shove in there, that was like a gay couple that needed to be saved just
exactly.
because.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that was so out of place.
But you know why it was? It was because David Yost, claimed that he was picked on the entire
Yeah, I know,
time,
because he was
because he was homosexual.
I have a lot of opinions on that because he
Yeah,
says that, but
I
again, it's a lot.
exactly. I hear two different sides of the story, and
Yeah.
I don't know who to believe. There might have been a little bit
Why
of
would you still
that.
be part of it if it was so
Exactly,
terrible?
exactly. I mean, when Austin St. John, Walter Jones, and Thuy Trang left, why wasn't he one of them if he was having such a horrible time
Exactly.
there? Yeah.
Exactly. So, yeah, the special, however, featured mostly decent CGI. Yeah, it wasn't too horrible CGI in it, proving that the franchise can show better effects if given the right time and budget. Of course, it's all a lot about budget, of course, when they do it themselves. The series should explore deeper themes. They actually have, if you go back to like In Space and some other series, they've actually gone really deep into some stories that are pretty much darker if you follow.
Yeah.
Power Rangers has always been for kids, but it is evident that the themes featured in the series are mostly created to a very young demographic. Shows like Avatar: The Last Airbender, that was a good animated show. We don't
Mhm.
talk about the sequel show with Korra.
Nope.
And Gravity Falls. Yeah, that was, not normally for children humor.
I
uh,
see. Tony keeps telling me to watch it. I haven't gotten a chance to see
Gravity
it yet, though.
Falls.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I recommend it, even for grown-ups, because it has like this a lot of grown-up humor.
Yeah, that's what I hear.
Prove that deeper themes can handle in a way that both attracts older audience while not alienating the target demographic, and it is something that Disney Plus reboot should consider. If you can do it like In Space, yes, because they went really dark with the story.
Hmm.
And they were like one of the most grown-up series. That, and I know RPM, I think it was, or whatever it's called in the future with the virus and stuff like that, also went really dark in the story. So you can do that. They have done it before, and even the special was a little dark because of the death and a lot of things in the story. So they
Exactly.
can do it. And then we are coming to. Do you remember the reboot they did of the movie?
Of course.
You loved it, right?
Oh yeah, how can I forget? I loved how Rita looked so weird and green, and she was obviously having the green power coin or something like
Yeah, and
that.
Trini being
And
lesbian.
yeah, and then Goldar looking like Ivan Ooze's monsters, and
Yeah,
the Megazord looking like crap, all of the Zords looking like crap. It was so great. I loved it. Yeah.
yeah, exactly.
And then Zordon being a complete bastard. He was just an asshole to everybody. Yeah, that was
Yeah,
exact that,
right.
yeah, that was perfect.
And the suits looking like Iron Man suits.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So they said the Power Rangers at 2017 film did a good job when it came to tackling the deeper subject matter, with the Power Ranger all feeling like outsiders in a small town. For me, when I watch it, like if I think about it now, it feels just like a Gen Z movie
Yeah.
with angsty kids.
It really is. It's like a CW show that they stretched into a movie.
Exactly. While the film didn't do well at the box office and had mixed, yes, it did. I wonder why. It has developed a somewhat of a cult following in the recent years. I have not heard that it has a cult following at all,
Yeah, I
but
think that they're trying to make up a rumor.
I know so many people who are Power Rangers fans, and everybody hates that movie. Everyone
Yeah.
I've seen and talked to.
Yeah,
Um,
there's nothing really good. There's nothing
the
good about that at all, honestly. I did not enjoy that movie.
The only good parts of that movie was mostly when you see Jason and the original Pink Ranger, the little cameo. That's the
Oh
best
yeah.
part.
Yeah. I even forgot about that. I think I blocked it out.
Yeah. Why couldn't they just go on morphing time and beat the villains? Come on, dude.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh,
would have been something cool to use, like
yes.
passing down their power coin or something like that. See, that's what they needed in that movie. They needed some kind of passing down the torch, type of thing.
Yeah. And then, of course, we go to fans hope to see better character writing. I think a lot back in the day was good writing. When you go to morphing Power Rangers and through until in space,
Yeah.
a lot of good storytelling, a lot of good writing, and even with Ninja Storm, and when it comes to like Dino Thunder, a lot of that was good writing. So I don't know quite what they talk about right there. Yes, the last seasons, like with the lesbian girl, and the last season they did that tried to be Marvel. Yeah, that was terrible writing.
Yeah.
But it's not. What do you think? Do you think there was have been a lot of decent, good writing through the
No.
years
I mean, through like just like you said, up until in Time
in
Force,
space and Time for?
yeah, those were the last ones, and then Dino Fury. I
Yeah,
enjoyed just because Jason David Frank, but
yeah.
I uh I think there was good writing in Dino Fury. It was sparse, it was hit or miss here and there,
You mean
but
Dino Thunder with
Dino
Jason?
Thunder, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, definitely I enjoyed the writing from Mighty Morphin to in uh Time uh Time Force.
yeah. Exactly. No, I agree with that. So Power Ranger features hundreds of characters, but often the Red Power Ranger, the Red Ranger, gets most focus on in terms of character writing and development. Again, that's because the Red Ranger is mostly the leader.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? I will say though, I hated Turbo. I hated Turbo. I think that was an awful
Yeah,
season.
yeah. You know why? Because in Super Sentai, the original Turbo in Super Sentai, it was kind of a parody of itself in Super Sentai. It was not meant to be taken seriously. It
Oh,
was
that
just
makes
fun
sense.
and comedy.
That makes
So,
sense because it
yes,
was not good.
yeah. And the show itself, like the Japanese counterpart, Super Sentai, is funny because it was supposed to just be weird and funny, right?
Yeah.
So that is one thing they did mistake on, was trying to use the Japanese counterpart of Turbo and try to make it serious,
Yeah.
because Turbo in Japan was just comedy and a parody of itself.
Yeah,
That was the
and
point.
that Blue Ranger, when he would morph and his head would get, like, really big and his
Yeah, the
body
kid.
would,
Yeah,
like, yeah, oh, man, that was, and then just cars, well, the cars as Zords, I mean, yeah,
it works in Super Sentai mostly.
yeah, I mean, I can understand that it would work as a, comedy bit, but, when you're wanting Zords, I mean, cars,
Yeah,
that's
no,
the
I
last
get
thing
that.
that I want.
Yeah, no, I get that. Well,
This
there
isn't
are.
this isn't Transformers,
Yeah, no,
robots in
exactly.
disguise,
um, but yeah, so while there have been exceptions such as Power Rangers RPM, that was a pretty dark show because of the virus and everything else that was going on. Pretty dark, which
Mhm.
gave each Ranger their own origin story episode. Most Power Ranger seasons have a serious problem when it comes to character writing. Not all of them, but of course, every series that has a lot of seasons will have their hit and miss. That's pretty normal. While it's completely fine to play with character stereotype, the jock, the nerd, the rebel, etc. Yeah, because that's kind of the point with Power Rangers and Super Sentai. That is the point of the characters. You have these stereotypes of characters that everybody, each everyone can relate to one of them.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Disney Plus reboot should take this archetype and build on them, create more well-rounded characters for the audiences to connect with and root for. The show certainly shouldn't be afraid to explore conflict within the team, making their moments of coming together. And I can understand that to a certain point because they do that in Super Sentai, so I can understand that.
Well, yeah, I
Uh,
mean, that's just how every, teams are, you're gonna have, your arguments and stuff like that. It's just, I
yeah,
think that's fine.
yeah. And of course, they talk about the reboot should include more compelling villains. I think a lot of the villains are great, and again, before Cosmic Fury, every villain is based on the Japanese counterpart. So at least they, you know, did more respect to the source with the villains. I've never really had any problems with the villains because I know what Super Sentai is. But
Yeah.
how do you feel about that?
Yeah, I mean, I think that there's hit or miss villains, but for the most part, I think, I'm always gonna relate back to Zed. Zed was probably
Yeah,
like he was the most intimidating
yeah, the big
villain. Yeah,
badass.
the villain, like that pumping blood through his vein looking things and his
Yeah,
brain. He was I mean, that mask. Everything about him was just so terrifying when he
yeah,
showed up. And honestly, I haven't found a villain since that has terrified me as much, especially for a children's show.
yeah,
So I
yeah.
definitely,
No, exactly.
so I think that there are good villains out there, but nothing's gonna compare to Zed for me.
Yeah. No, I agree with that, and then let's see here. Power Rangers in 2017 did a good job when it came to the character design of Rita.
No, they did not.
And
That's
okay, I don't care about the other here, but that threw me off.
Yeah, that's the furthest thing from the truth.
And also saying reboot should feature more human-looking villains.
Why?
You kind of take away the point with the
Yeah.
villains.
Yeah, I mean it worked in space, with the sister
Yeah,
of Andros and
but you
everything.
still had villains that looks like monsters, and that's
Yeah,
kind of.
exactly.
And then we come to one thing I have a problem with here. The Power Ranger reboot should include fewer Megazord fights.
No,
That's one of the selling points of the show.
that's so stupid.
That is something that people get attracted from and look at. It's like, we have Transformers. Why is Transformers doing well? Because they're big swords, basically.
Exactly. Ultraman. I mean,
Oh,
there's
yes.
I mean there was so many I mean that's
Gundam.
a Gundam. Yeah, exactly.
It's like
It's
saying Gundam should not use
Gundams.
Gundams
Yeah.
at all.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
So I disagree with this because,
I
come
think
on.
I just think they should have better designs for Zords.
Yeah, especially if they're going to do their own stuff.
Yeah.
And so one of the most iconic aspects of Power Rangers are the swords and Mega Swords. Almost every episode of each series ends with a giant robot fight. Of course, that's the point.
Yeah. That's what
With
we
the
love about it.
Yes, with the Mega Sword often delivering the final strike to defeat the monster of the week. And I do miss that thing that we had, monster and villain of the week in shows. You
Mhm.
know, while the Megazords battles are iconic, it could be argued that they were used too often in the series. I don't think so because, again, it was a big part of it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I disagree with that. They also talk about fans hope to see more focused story. Shorter season means less time of filler. The thing with Power Rangers and Super Sentai, you need some of the fillers to explore the characters and
Yeah.
stuff
Well,
like
how
that.
how are you going to get to know them and actually care about the actors, that play the characters if you
Exactly.
don't have that?
It's like look at Super Sentai. They have like almost 50 episodes each season.
Yeah. I
If
mean,
you don't,
even if we go back to Green with Evil, when Tommy was, the Rita's, herald or whatever you would call him, those scenes where you would see Tommy and how he would interact with the Rangers just outside of being the Green Ranger, that was build up where you were like very intimidated by his character. Like you got to know
yes,
him, and that change at the end when he turned into a good guy was like, wow,
exactly.
that that's what made me love Tommy so much, was that
Yes.
he was so intimidating as a villain, and then
Yes.
he changed into, that's why we liked everybody. And the Pink Ranger, there the time that she would spend on her episodes, and yeah, you got to have those episodes, like you said.
Yeah, no, exactly. It's important. So you get to know the characters, you can, care for them. And of course it depends on what kind of show it is. Some shows does not need fillers, but when it comes to like more to Super Sentai and Power Rangers, it is more needed to flesh out the characters a lot more, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And they also talk about the budget increase could mean better suits, as long it's not like Cosmic Fury and yeah, the reboot they did in 2017.
God. Yeah.
So yeah, that's at least what they're talking about. But how do you feel that it is Disney who is in control of Power Rangers?
I know what to expect, so I'm not expecting a lot. you know, um,
Exactly. No, I get
and
that.
and the Percy Jackson thing, just kind of icing on the cake. I'm not too thrilled. They're not going to do anything of substance. Jason David Frank isn't around anymore.
Yeah.
Everything is about their propaganda and all that bullshit. So I have no high hopes at all. That's why I'm trying to make my own content.
Yeah.
I'm writing my own story for my ranger, where the Mighty Morphin
Exactly.
Rangers, they have vanished somehow, and my character has been called to this time period from the future to prevent what has happened. So
Yeah.
I'm making my own fan fictions, and
Yeah.
trying to make my own stories.
Yeah. They should just hire you as the writer.
Yeah, yeah, that'd be, yeah. I don't think they'd listen to me though. They'd try to buy me out, and as much money as I'm in debt, I'd probably be like, well, maybe. How much you gonna pay?
Yeah. So, do you have any final thoughts about this before we go to the next one?
You said it all, man. Disney in charge of this, and with Hasbro getting out of the toy industry, um, they're going into gaming. The toys are gonna suck. The program, the writing is gonna suck. I have no hopes for anything Rangers except for what has already been made in the past. I want to get a Master Morpher, green the Jason Day, Tommy's Master Morpher. I already have
Yeah.
the communicators for both white and green. I have their helmets. I have my whole shrine basically to Jason David Frank, and I did my diorama to the command center. I made a diorama for the command center with Zordon and Alpha and the Rangers and stuff. So I have my little corner of my Ranger uh, part, and I'll just stick with that.
Yeah, no, exactly. No, I agree with that. And yeah, and we are gonna get into some other stuff before we wrap up the show. We're gonna get
Yeah,
into we are
wrestling.
yeah, we're gonna get into that too. But before we do that, we're actually gonna talk about a collector edition box set of Terrifier
Oh,
movies that I really enjoyed. I don't know if you've seen it, Grid.
of of course, yeah.
Yeah, and Tom,
Art
we have
is
seen the
awesome.
movies.
Well,
Yeah,
I've seen them all. Yeah.
yes. So, they are from Bloody Disgusting. Unboxing Umbrella Entertainment's Art Attack Terrifier Collector's Edition box set. And I heavily want to have this. I've gone through it already, but we're gonna react to it. From Australia's Umbrella Entertainment comes the Art Attack Terrifier Collector's Edition. The limited edition release collects Leon's Terrifier 2 and 3 on 4K, Ultra HD, Blu-ray with slipcases, and anthology All Hallow Eves. So that's also a lot more stories and stuff like that. That is included, a bonus feature. And so what we get is, of course, 4K feature HDR, audio commentary with, of course, the director and all that, the All Hallows Eve, behind the scenes features. I love the behind the scenes in every movie. Um, and I know, Tom, you do that too, because you love to
Yeah.
be behind the camera. Interview with Jenna Connell. Deleted scenes. I always love deleted scenes because sometimes deleted scenes are great. It's just like, why did you remove this? Like, this would be great.
Exactly. Yeah.
And of course, Art the Clown time lapse makeup. Dread Sentinel presents Terrifier San Diego crowd responses, Terrifier trailer, and Hallows Eve's trailer. And of course, Terrifier 2, 4K, feature Dolby Vision HDR, director's commentary, extended Boo Crew interview, behind the scenes, and trailer. And Terrifier 3. It's not the best of all of them. I think the second one is better,
I
and of
agree.
course the first one.
Hmm.
But the third one was still cool. Like, it still had cool stuff.
Yeah.
It's still Art the Clown, that's main reason why we watch it. But it does include 4K 4K Dolby Vision HDR with extra crunch audio updates from Damien Leone, audio commentary, introduction. So we get a lot of this kind of stuff, of course, and some studio SFX things. Creating the Demon time lapse, creating the Virgin Mary time lapse, chainsaw weapon testing. Hey, I would love to see that. And of course, they did a music video. If you ever heard about the band Ice Nine Kills, a work of art. Really, really nice music video, and some teasers, 2 trailers. But let's get into this. This is the collector edition.
Damn.
Everything you get from the collector edition. And if you are a collector, you fucking want this.
How much though? How much is it going for? That's what I would question.
Yeah,
Probably-
that
probably-
is
Probably $100 at least.
the Epic
135.
set. Yeah, here we have the price.
Yeah.
But with all you get, it is worth it if you have the money for it, because one, you get the book, you get steel cases, you get a lot of different stuff with all of this, and pictures, and even his glasses, a little figure, and a lot of extra material. So I just thought it was something cool that we could share, because if you're a collector, I think this is worth it. If you have the money and you are a collector. So what do you guys think of the collector edition here? Isn't
Looks
it
cool.
It is cool. Mind you, I'm going to bring this one point up. Everything's going digital. Are you guys going to miss box sets like this? Because eventually they're going to go away. Because eventually it's all going to be digital. We're not going to have Blu-rays and stuff anymore. That's going to be a sad day for media, I think.
That is
Yeah,
going to be a sad day.
I'm really hoping that there's going to be a
Shift?
somebody to step in and make sure
Yeah.
that we never get digital only options.
Like video games. I love collector's editions. You get the statues, you get the
Yeah.
and that's
Well,
gonna go away
and
too.
and
It's
and
just- yeah.
PT the demo PT proved that they can take your stuff away at any time. It
Oh, I've
doesn't
had
matter.
things taken away digitally. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's bullshit, and
Exactly.
I'm not gonna deal. That's ridiculous. If you
Yeah,
pay for
It
something,
is. Because
or
I
a-
want physical media. I want to
Exactly.
collect stuff.
exactly.
And Tom, since we're talking about physical media, you can bring this up again with the game that is in, the game that you talked about last time on Skolcast, that you can't play anymore, and it's physical.
Which one of that now? The one I had was there was a few of them. Which one were we referring to again?
The one we talked about last time that is like in a court case right now.
Oh gosh, which one was that again? I'm blanking out right now. That's on the spot. It's in the court. The crew.
driving game.
The first crew, which I own. I have it. I got the crew too, so I got that. You can't play the crew anymore. It's gone. But they're suing the company because people have paid a lot of money. You bought cars, you bought the extra stuff, you can't play it no more.
Yep.
It's like you're
Yeah.
allowed, but they're being sued because of this.
Yeah.
Ubisoft's being sued because of this because they're like, no. And I'm hoping if this case goes through and fans can win, this will change the way games are done again. Maybe it'll give us back physical media and not just take it away because there's so many games that were taken away. I bring it up, Scott Pilgrim. I own Scott Pilgrim for the PS3, but then there was a court case battle. I lost it because you can't keep everything on your hard drive. So I went to download it again one day. Oh, it's not in the store anymore. What? I paid 20 some bucks for that.
Yeah. I did the same thing with Double Dragon Neon. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's just it's all too common.
Exactly.
Like I'll bring up City of Heroes. That died. That was an online one. Luckily, the community actually fought and did bring that back. But that was the community. It wasn't the company themselves.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's
maybe this gaming precedent will also roll over to movies as well. And so hopefully
good
there'll
example.
be.
PlayStation in Austria, they removed a lot of the movies, including some of the John Wick ones. So if you bought them on your PS4, oh, you're out of luck. You don't have it anymore. So it's
Exactly.
like, nope. It's like, what?
No, that's
No.
it is sad that they can do that. I've talked about this too. Like even with when you buy like comic books or like apps, they can remove it anytime they want. And if they
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why
release
I buy
it again,
yeah.
you have to
Well-
pay it all over again. You have to buy it all over again. And it's like I don't often do that, but it's a couple of times I've done it. Paid for like back in the day when I was on travel. When I was traveling and all that kind of stuff. I used to read on my phone, right? And then, it was a comic book that I bought. It was X-Men Gold at the time. And Grid, I don't remember if you remember what happened with that comic, because that guy who, like, he put some stuff into the comic that Disney didn't like, Marvel Disney didn't like and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So they removed the book from the store. So everybody who bought the book lost the book on the app, right? And, I don't want to bring my books all over when I travel, I want to bring them all over.
So you're never going to beat physical media.
Oh, no, never. But I decided to do that because I just want to read it, check it out, because, I heard a lot of mixed reviews, and I'm like, it's finally out, I want to read it. And halfway through, and stuff like that, I was going to read it, some time later. And then I found out that they removed the comic book from the store because they want to remove those parts that the guy that they didn't like of the markings and stuff like he did for his beliefs and stuff like that, right? And so you did not get the comic back in your store. You had to buy it all over again in full price.
That's so dumb. Yeah. That's where we're headed.
That is where we are headed, and it is sad. And I'm always going to keep fighting for physical media because that's what I want. But it's just so sad that everything is digital and they can remove it anytime they want,
Well, Ubisoft said that they're saying you got to be happy not owning something, Yeah, you got to be happy.
Yeah, Ubisoft told you that you have to accept that you don't own the game. When you when you pay for it, you're renting it, like a license of renting.
It's like, no, I paid, especially, and let's not even break it down. You buy a physical copy, you got to get the package, the book, whatever else. You pay full price. Why aren't digital copies half price? You're not shipping it. You're not making physical aspect. You're saving a fortune, but you're still charging us full price. That's BS. It should be half the price. These games should be like 30, 40 bucks, not 70, 80 bucks. No. So,
exactly.
It's a good point.
And before we go into wrestling, Tom, there was some stuff you wanted to mention in the gaming world that they're doing right now with some remaster
it's big
stuff.
news this week. Massive news. And if anybody here's an RPG fan, you've probably heard of Skyrim. Anybody knows what Skyrim
Yes.
is. Let's be honest. I mean,
That has been remastered millions of times now.
Yes, thousands of times. Well, before that, there was multiple games within the Elder Scrolls world. Morrowind, which I've never played. I got it on my PC. I got to get it sometime. But my favorite is Oblivion. Now, I love... people know me and know my obsession with dragons, and that was Skyrim. But Oblivion was just an all-around better game. It was more in depth. You could actually make your spells, develop them. It was a lot more... Skyrim was a dumbed-down version of Oblivion.
It was a
really
dumbed-down version.
Yes. And I don't get me wrong, I loved it, but... Well, now, just announced this week, because it's been speculated, and it's being released this month, is Oblivion Remastered. It's like, what? So they're actually releasing a remastered version of Oblivion. just this month. It's coming this month. We don't. It could be this week actually. Just out of the blue.
Oh,
It's like,
really?
what? So yeah. And now, but don't forget, there's also a version that's being made with the Skyrim engine, Skyblivion. They actually announced just yesterday when this got announced, no, we're still going to release our version, and I think they're going to be okay with it. So you'll have two different versions, hopefully
Oh,
at one
God.
point this year. So, but yeah, now they're going to remaster Oblivion, which I'm really looking forward to. Which I'll probably get them both, depending on their price,
Yeah.
and try them. But and then so that was a big thing there. I'm like, finally, a game that I love Skyrim, but Oblivion I like better. And remastered, it'll look beautiful. But then a few days after that, what did they announce? Oh yeah, there might be a Fallout 3, which I'm playing on my channel right now. They're going to be a remastered of
Yeah.
that too, but that won't be for way down the road. That'll be years down the road. But that's in the works too. That's one of the big speculations. So it's like, oh,
Yeah.
geez. So Bethesda's keeping busy. And a lot of people are crying now. Will give us some New Vegas, but and actually people just want Elder Scrolls 6. That's what people are really wanting. But
Yeah.
there's like we
Maybe
don't have
one
it ready
day.
yet. Yeah, exactly. But that's pretty good. I will definitely be getting Oblivion because I love that game.
Yeah.
Visually, I've seen some of the pictures. It looks kind of drab. I want the more in-depth color because Oblivion was a little bit more.
Sometimes, maybe we can get Grit's opinion on that too, but I feel sometimes remasters can be good, like sometimes.
Yeah.
And sometimes I feel like they are shooting themselves in the foot with certain
It's
remasters.
a cash grab sometimes.
Yeah, exactly.
Sometimes it's just a cash grab.
So, Grid,
we'll wait and
what's
see.
your opinion on that?
Yeah, Oblivion is the only Elder Scroll that I ever played. I never got in. I mean, I kept dying, so I never finished it. I didn't understand how to, because the enemies kept leveling up as I was leveling up, and I was like, how do I get further in the game? So
Yeah.
I never finished it. I didn't understand how to to play it properly, I guess. But I mean, it was it was a good game for its time. The graphics were good. The story seemed good. I heard good things about it. I just I wasn't something that I got into.
No, it is like a taste for people,
Yeah.
It is,
Yes.
I'm
And
more
let's
of
be honest,
I'm more of a survival horror kind of gamer, I guess.
yeah, more survival
let's be
games and
honest,
stuff like that.
Yeah.
Bethesda is a very iffy studio for people because their games are broken. Even
Mhm.
as a lover of their games, Fallout 3 is my all-time favorite game. It's a broken game, 100%. It has glitches up the yin yang. But they're known for that. And Bethesda is known for that. They've always been known for that. Like for their Fallout.
But what is the
or their-
best gaming series for, that's Devil May Cry. Done with the case.
I mean, I love Fallout 3 was my favorite game until Days Gone, and Days Gone is now my all-time favorite game.
No,
Still gonna try that?
Devil May Cry is the best.
Oh,
I don't
I'll
care.
go with Days Gone.
It's
Days
my
Gone.
show.
Chef's
It's
kiss.
my show. I decide what's
And
best. I'm just kidding.
next week, the DLC comes out for the Days Gone after 6 years after its release. About bloody time. So that's next week.
Yeah.
It's like finally.
But yeah, we talked a bit about gaming, and we are gonna wrap up the show in a couple. So we're gonna get into the wrestling part that I know also Tom is excited about. But we are gonna talk about Roman Reigns a little bit because he has been talking about his retirement plan, and he did an interview when he said he supports Donald Trump. He did an interview. He talked, they talked about stuff, right? So people are trying to cancel him now.
Of course.
So Roman Reigns is in the section of being canceled by the agenda-driven people who can't handle Trump. So before we get into the articles, Tom, how do you feel about that?
It's stupid. I mean, sure. You guys, I'm not really political. I used to be activist. I'm not. Am I a fan of him? I'm not. No, not really. But I have friends that support him. They're still my friends. I mean, it is what it is. And he was still the better alternative of the other one. But I mean, you don't judge people because of that's why years ago I grew up in a period where we didn't tell people our political belief. You go in, you vote quietly, and then you just come out.
Yeah.
But look, nowadays people judge somebody by who they voted for. No, that doesn't make the person who they. That's the dumbest thing, and that's why I say we got to go back to the day where just stop talking about politics because I've seen people call you're a Yahtzee because of it. No,
Exactly.
shut up. Like, people are just so.
let's get into it. So Roman Reigns revealed why he supports President Donald Trump. Roman Reigns revealed that he's a supporter of Donald Trump, but he doesn't agree with everything the current president does, and that's allowed. You don't need to agree with everything because you can't agree with everything. That's normal. Reigns was asked about his political alliance during an interview with Vanity Fair. He gave a surprising answer in support of Trump, even though he's a registered Democrat. So he said, I support our President Trump. President Trump is one of those guys where he's got a vast history of and a huge background. He's been in entertainment, he's been in big business, politics, and at this point, I'm supporting a bright future for our country. Positive and competent leadership. For us to be what we are supposed to be a better world leader and carry that respect and do what a world power like us should be doing. So that's what he said, simple, nice, and I agree with that, right?
Yeah.
And after that, we're gonna, cause there was a nice lady here who called Lisa Greeny. She made a 2-minute video with people trying to cancel him and going berserk of him
Seriously.
saying that. Yes, people are
Yep.
trying to cancel him and going
my
ballistic
goodness.
on him. Because you're not allowed to have any. You can't.
Opposite of views of what they are. Yeah, you have to,
Yeah.
yeah.
Exactly.
Well, it's worked for so long that people have just got it in their minds. They've grown up in a generation where if you disagree with somebody and you know it's right wing or whatever, then
Yeah.
you can cancel them. And it worked for so long that people just haven't got it in their brains that that's not how you do things. So
Exactly. And normally on Skolcast we don't do politics that often, but
yeah,
this is Roman Reigns. He's a big face of WWE. He is a fan favorite of a lot of us. So we are just gonna go through some of the comments here. Here we have a person who said, I cut my family off for who they voted for. Yeah, think about I'm about to support a wrestler that I legit don't have to not knowing they supported him. Yeah,
yeah. And that's the
Uh,
problem right there. Yeah.
and there we go. You have a black wife, half black kids. What are you doing, Joseph? On Anua I seriously?
Oh no, yeah, he's
Yeah.
he's Samoan, so technically he's
Yeah.
classified as like hello. What
Yeah.
are you
Yes.
talking about?
So going after the family too, just because he had an interview. That was just a simple interview.
What's
And-
it? Let me bring this comment to it too. What does having a black kid and half white have to do with Trump? He's not
Well,
racist.
but
What?
no, but that's the thing is they're making they're trying to say he is without
Exactly.
any what I know, but that's just the thing is that they'll say whatever they want to be the truth and the reality that they live in, and they're going to pretend like it is.
Well,
Exactly.
just like
And-
like they say in the people in the LGBT, we got to leave the country. He's got
Yeah.
gay, he put on a gay wedding for one of his friends. He
Yeah.
has people in the community. He cares. No, stop making this stuff up. people.
exactly.
Yeah,
Like
well,
idiots.
they're trying to make it out to be like he's trying to be the next Bitler or Shitler or whatever, And
the man with the mustache.
yeah, the man
Oh
with
shit, that's
mustache.
Pedro Pascal. Oh, I mean,
Yeah,
what?
yeah.
Oh no.
So they're trying to use him as an example why anybody that is of black or Mexican or anything like that, why you shouldn't
Exactly.
support him because he's obviously a
And
racist.
also, a lot of these people do forget that majority of people in WWE supports Donald Trump.
Yeah. Well, and a lot of people forget that in the 90s, Donald Trump support. I mean, he gave like more money to African universities and charities and all sorts of stuff than anybody has ever done. So if he's a racist, he's a very bad one.
Exactly. And here we have someone called depressed. Depressed. They're depressed in their name. So yeah, I don't agree with everything. What do you agree with, my boy? Because all of his shit is inherently evil. What is evil? Tell me.
Yep. Closing the border, not letting everybody in, and
Taking care of the country.
lowering wages for all the people who already live here, and making the country a shittier, and making every price of everything go up higher.
Yeah,
Um,
right.
yeah, instead of
And
exporting oil and making some profit off of it,
yeah,
we're gonna pay for it, and send money to do gay drag shows in Afghanistan and all sorts of crap. So
no,
anyway,
exactly. And here we have a woman who's, because when it comes to Seth Rollins, he is more on the opposite side of Roman Reigns. Because he has also been public about it. But, people like me, I don't shit on him for having his view, you
yeah,
know?
it's
So,
perfectly fine to think
exactly.
a certain way, but the second that you start criticizing me and trying to cancel me because I
Yep,
think a certain way, that's when it becomes a
exactly.
problem.
Exactly. And, yeah, I cannot say this
Yeah,
word, but
yeah,
this
yeah,
person,
yeah, yeah.
Seth Rollins is the only, you know what, with some sense in the wrestling.
Actually, he's white, so isn't he a hunky?
Yeah,
I can
right?
say that
Yeah.
word. He's a
So
hunky. What?
yeah, so
You have
Yeah.
to use that word right, people.
yeah,
Say
yeah,
it.
And
so
they want
uh,
people to stop using that word. Then stop using it yourself.
yeah,
I'm going to say this right now, and I will never say the word in public. I had friends of color. I used to say the word. We would joke because it used to mean friend. It meant
yeah,
friend. If you use you don't do the hard R because yeah. But I grew up with rap. I'm a rap fan. I can say I still sing the words. I don't care. It's like whatever, What anyway.
Yep. So
Oh
you see,
God,
everybody's just,
piling on.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
and can you tell that it's a bunch of women too? All these
Yes.
people are a bunch of women who are saying this
A lot of them.
because I think the men actually see through the
And look at this
bullshit now.
person, Bandit here.
Yeah,
Fuck Triple H. Fuck Donald Trump. Fuck Roman Reigns. Fuck everyone defending this, especially fuck you, Hulk Hogan. Yeah,
oh, you
because Hulk
got them.
Hogan supports Donald Trump.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's funny because I mean, Bill Maher even is supporting him now. He was a
Mania,
left.
baby.
Yeah,
So yeah, a lot of people they go berserk. They're trying to cancel him. A lot of his activists, and then you have people like us. Yeah, I know. I'm more for Donald Trump's side. Grid, whatever you are more on the political side. Like no matter
yeah.
what we are on the more political side, the thing is that we don't try to cancel people. We don't go like this and try to wish harm on people. We just heavily disagree. We will talk about why we disagree and why we have this opinion. Um, but we are not like this. Like, why would we be like this? This is just disgusting behavior, you know?
Well,
Yeah.
Jace, you know me. What was the original name of my show before I changed it to Techno Sapien Geek? Do you remember?
Exactly. Leftist.
The geeky classic leftist. I was a leftist.
Yes.
Now I'm more centrist now. I still have older school left style views, but the extreme idiots made it like, no, you're idiots. Stop.
Yeah.
And then there's extreme right
Exactly.
wing too. There is extreme right wings too that are idiots too. Like,
Of
I'm
course.
sorry. Matt Walsh really, I like some of his stuff. His movies are funny, but he goes too bored. He's hateful. Like, oh, dude, you're going too far now. Like, oh, no. And I like his movies.
Yeah, no, exactly.
But you can go too far on both ends. But just let's all sit down at the table, be able to discuss these things like adults, come up with reasonable ways. Like the trans. I've had trans friends, but they hate this movement of leave kids alone. When you're an adult, do what you want and don't push it down people's throats. Don't compete in stuff like that. No, stop it. Just live your life. That's why I like Blair White. That's why I like Buck Angel. They stand up for what's actually
Exactly.
right.
I couldn't agree more. Yeah.
Yeah.
See, but
it's
these are the people that are supporting Diddy parties and the Epstein Islands.
Oh yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yeah. You got any baby lotion, Grid?
Yeah. No, not in my house.
We normalcy in our planet again. Our planet has gone.
You know, exactly.
So,
but no, it's just the point that I want to show because we are wrestling fans and we love Roman Reigns. He he is a great, heel. He's a great character. It's like you hate him, but you fucking love him at the same time. Just well done written character in WWE. And again, the point here, you are not allowed to have an opinion. They are allowed to have an opinion, but if you have a different opinion, well, they're gonna go ballistic.
Yeah.
And before we're gonna break down WrestleMania stuff, just gonna have this little thing. We're not gonna read the whole thing because it's a long article. But Roman Reigns said, after I finish the contract that I'm in, we probably got another year or two max. Then it's time to take on a less physical form of entertainment.
Yeah.
So he's talking about the context. He is talking about, retiring from wrestling. Since Tom, you follow up on wrestling, how do you feel that he's talking about retiring from wrestling for a while and probably try to do something else?
Roman Reigns, brought in by the Shield by the CM Punk, Paul Heyman thing, which this triple threat actually makes sense if you really know the long story. Punk's the one who brought in the Shield, which there's stories to it. I followed his career. Yes, he got pushed down people's throats a little bit because he wasn't competing enough when he was title run. It was nice to see, and I liked he played a great heel. He learned to talk better. He got better. And I was like, I don't hate him. And he's not a bad wrestler. Everybody crapped on him. I'm like, no, he's actually a good wrestler. So, And I didn't mind the title run. What's he gonna do? Let's be honest. He's gonna act. His cousin is The Rock, Dwayne Johnson.
Yeah,
one of the greatest action stars. He was in Hobbs and Shaw. People forget Roman Reigns was in it, and I liked his role. It was brief, but I can see him. He's got that look.
Yeah, no, I want to be an actor. I would love to see him. I would love to see him and The Rock do something.
Him and Jason Momoa, they look like
Jason
twins.
Momoa.
People joke Momoa about
but also The Rock and Roman do look like each other.
Well, yeah, you can do a lot with that. So, and he's got enough connections,
Yep. No, he is a great actor too. So, if that's what his dream is, to take a break from wrestling, and he might come back, of course. But it's good for him too, if he won't.
Well, let's be honest. He had cancer. He had the man had a very life debilitating disease.
Yeah,
and he's still working. It's hard on his body.
Exactly.
So he why not become an actor and make money and make it a lot easier on you?
Exactly.
That's what I have a feeling he'll probably do. He's already got
I
the
would
name
love
in
to
there.
see him in a proper action movie, doing the fights and a decent story. Go back to old school action like A Working Man, and Transporter stuff, and all these action movies. That'd be fun to see him in.
So we'll wait and see. Like I said, he'll have a good run.
Yeah.
All I'm gonna say, I hope Jon Moxley can come back for one run. I want to see a triple threat between those three. Give me the Shield reunion one last time. So I want to see it. But yeah, we'll wait and see. It'll be a sad day. I mean, it'll be missed, but with his health, he deserves to just enjoy.
Exactly.
He's got a family, a wife, and a child, and enjoy your life, and then make just as good money, but easier on your body.
Exactly.
This is not an easy lifestyle. So.
Oh, it's really not. When you see all these wrestlers there that hurts their backs and bodies for all of they just to entertain us 90% of the time. Entertain us.
Well, that's why a lot of them in the past history has a lot of issues with substance abuse and stuff because of their body so beat up. So Kurt Angle, listen to his story. Wow, I'm surprised he's still alive.
That's a heavy story too. That's a really heavy story.
But painkillers and so many other things and stuff. That's why a lot of them here in North America now, WWE is a lot easier on hemp and THC because they're realizing, okay, it's not dangerous and it's a lot better than painkillers and stuff that are more addictive. So they're starting to allow that more, which is better on people's pain. But for years, it was addiction problems and everything. And because your body's beat up, you're in pain. Is it wrestling scripted?
Exactly.
80% of the time, wrestling scripted. Sometimes if you're nobody, you guys go out and decide and listen to the crowd and make up who's going to win.
Yeah.
They do that sometimes. But is it fake? I'm not going to swear, but F that, it's not fake. I've been in a ring. I train. It hurts. It's a scripted, yes. Fake, no. It hurts. It's very, you got to be in good shape. You got to be willing to get hurt. You're going to get punched occasionally. You're going to get hurt. You got to know how to take a bump. No. So You're a live action stuntman, is what you are, because this is
Yeah,
live
exactly.
entertainment.
And they do this live on TV too, you know. So if they get hurt,
and
they get
multiple
hurt.
times a day. You're working about 200, 300 some days a year. Think about
Yeah.
that. So that's
Yeah.
no. So yeah, not an
Yeah,
easy
no, exactly,
lifestyle.
exactly. And no, no,
Yeah.
exactly. And it's gonna be a lot of fun with the WrestleMania now. And Grid, you're back.
Yes.
There is one thing I wanted to do before we wrap up. There is one thing I wanted to do,
All right.
and that will be one last reaction on something.
All
I
right.
forgot
Let's hear.
this.
Oh, I'm gonna break. Okay, go ahead. I was gonna break
After
down the
this,
card quickly.
you will break down because I know how fast you can talk, so you will break down everything.
Okay.
And that is 3 days ago. We did get the final trailer of Thunderbolts.
I haven't
And-
seen that yet, actually. Yeah.
I haven't
And-
seen it either.
And I will say, I've not seen it either. So, we are going to react to it because I totally forgot that I had that on the list because we were supposed to do that on the Beyond. But it's better to do this today with you guys, a great panel here.
Cool.
So here we have Marvel Studios Thunderbolts final trailer. And the first trailers that they showed has sold me. I am actually excited for this. It's like I say, am I the biggest fan of what Disney's doing with a lot of the MCU stuff? Hell no. But I will praise the stuff that I think they should focus more on and what I think they do well. And the same thing I say with Andor. I think that is the right direction to go instead of what they're doing with everything else. That's just my opinion because I like the guy who creates it. I think he has a vision. I will give praise to what I think is worth it. If you guys know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
No.
So let's get into it.
Lena, being a hero, there is no higher calling. Your sister understood something about that.
I should have come back for you.
No.
Even though the movie Black Widow wasn't great,
I didn't
But-
mind it. I didn't mind it. I'm one of the few. That's one of the few I didn't mind. I actually include that in
you
my
see,
MCU
a lot of us
reviews.
have different opinions, and that is important, people.
I
And
never
we don't
even
cancel
saw
each
it.
other.
I never even saw it.
Exactly. But I will say, the parts with, of course, the sibling love and all that, that is, you know, the good, better parts of the movie. Because they're great actors, and you get that feeling between siblings and the love for each other, if you know what I mean.
That's just a fairy tale.
And there we have one of the strongest characters, you know, in what's his name again? Sentry.
Oh, that's the Sentry in there? Awesome.
Yeah.
And he also has this split personality thing, if you know.
Exactly.
He's like,
Oh yeah, I know all about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
this, I think,
he
is
was
the-
locked away for a long time because
Yeah.
of it.
and it looks like this is the evil version of him, of the personalities, because he attacks people.
What is
Void.
what's his name? The Void, yeah.
The Void, yeah. So I think he is the Void here.
Now, a lot of people will debate. They say he's the strongest in Marvel. Some people say Franklin. There's a
Or-
big debate on that one.
Oh,
so
oh
it's-
no, Franklin Richards. I mean, because he's a reality warper.
Yeah, he would, yeah.
You're talking.
But
the
some people
difference-
compare him to Superman Sentry. They're like, he's their
Oh
Superman.
yeah,
and
no, yeah,
he's like-
exactly. But
Yeah.
I think Hyperion is more on par with Superman. Even though
Yeah, Hyperion is a little bit more of Superman. Like Sentry
Yeah.
is part of like Superman-ish, but
yeah.
But I forgot that character. Yeah, he's more of a Superman
But
character. Yeah.
I do like the Sentry character because I like the dichotomy between the two
Yeah.
split personality type.
Yeah,
thing.
with the void and everything.
yeah,
And I like that too.
I think it's cool. Yeah.
And I think this shot is cool. I think that is the void. It looks like because he is in it. So.
Yeah, like he's completely
Exactly.
blacked out. It really
Yeah,
looks. It looks very intentional, like he is
Yes.
the void. You know,
Yes.
there is a
So-
void of a person there. You know.
Exactly. And no, I like this. Like this is terrifying. You know.
That is cool. Yeah.
Yeah. And just like
Yeah, I'm just
Just like,
turning
yeah.
everybody into shadows, like
Yes.
like a nuclear
Yes.
atomic bomb. Yeah, like
that
the
is actually pretty
Hiroshima.
badass.
Yeah,
Yeah, I like this. Like, just like Boom, 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 motherfucker.
Yeah.
I was in high school when the Avengers came. Kind of strange that it's all over now. No one's coming to save the day.
I think we are. We can be the ones that are.
Again, he is the one who should have been Captain America.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or at least
Yeah.
been passed on to the eventually.
Well-
Well, he's
Yes.
actually in. He is in
Yeah.
Captain Falcon, believe it or not, too.
Yeah.
In a scene. I'm like,
I think in the comics, he turn into American Patriot or something like that.
No, he became Captain America.
Oh, he just came. There was
yeah.
a character I think called American Patriot. And he looks. a little,
It's so long since I've read. I need
yeah,
to
it's been a
re-eyes.
while. Yeah.
Disney kind of destroyed reading for me for a while.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, definitely. He
But-
definitely should have been the one to have that passed
Yeah.
on to him.
And he
But-
has powers.
Yeah, but in all honesty, Steve Rogers should have never. I mean, I know that Chris
He
Evans
should have
has-
never been
has-
old and look like Joe
Yeah,
Biden.
exactly. I mean,
Because he
yeah,
looks like Joe Biden in the
yeah.
end.
And no, Captain America should always be Steve Rogers. There should never be any arguments about that.
Oh,
So-
exactly. But you
I
know,
mean that's the whole purpose of when you saw Captain America, the first Avenger, and you saw him jump on that grenade. That's the whole
Yeah.
point of why Steve Rogers is Captain America.
a true American soldier that fights for his
Exactly.
country.
And it's not about the strength. It's not about anything other than
About your heart.
the heart.
Yes.
Exactly.
But I am still happy, of course, that Bucky is in this. Even though I have my beef with the actor of certain stuff he says. But the thing with us is that we can separate.
Yeah,
Okay.
the art from the artist. Exactly.
Exactly. Because if it's yes, I hate Mark Hamill of the stuff he's done and
Exactly.
said, but I will never deny or hate him for his Luke Skywalker
Exactly.
or Joker.
Exactly.
Or Joker. Yeah, it's
Exactly.
Yes, I
amazing.
praise his art.
Yeah.
And I will say this too. Sebastian Shaw can play a goddamn Luke Skywalker because they basically look like each other.
Exactly. Well, yeah, that's who I thought they got to play the Luke Skywalker and the Mandalorian, didn't they? Or maybe that was just in talks. But I think that he would make a good Luke Skywalker.
Yeah, right? Yeah. So let's continue with this.
Coming.
Like I like this.
That's
So
cool.
far.
But you have the wrong people. We have all done bad things.
Look, I've been where you are. The past doesn't go away.
And again, I love this character, John Walker. Still, US agent. I think, we all know who his father is and all that, and I think he's a great actor. So
Mhm.
he was one thing that I liked in Falcon and Winter Soldier. I hated the show for most of it, but I liked US Agent because they casted the right actor. That he really fell hardcore into the part, if you know what I mean. He really
Yeah.
did it well.
Yeah.
So you can either live with it forever, or you can do something about it. I am a boy.
Yes, there we
Yes.
go. Yeah, there we go. Oh yeah.
That's
Like
sick.
this looks good. This looks good.
Yeah, that is cool. I hope that
Yeah.
they never show like an actual his fate, like his bodily features or anything. I hope he's always just this shadow.
I know we have the Sentry version too because they meet him in the trailer. So you see how he looks like, but it looks like when he actually goes to the void, he's just this. Just
Yeah.
a shadow, just the
That-
darkness.
That would be amazing.
That one
is-
scene where she jumped off the building, though, there's an article recently. She actually did that, I guess. It was like a Tom Cruise. She wanted to do that, and she fought to get it done. I guess they let
Well,
let her
that's
do
more
it.
praise for the movie if
So-
Hell yeah.
actors actually do their own
Yeah.
shit. That's what I appreciate.
We
with
need to get
actors.
back to that. I mean, Sylvester Stallone, Arnold
Jason
Schwarzenegger
Statham.
back in the day. Yeah, exactly.
Tom
I mean,
Cruise, the nut
Tom
Tom
job.
Cruise,
Cruise,
yeah.
all
Yeah.
these people.
yeah,
That's one beef I have with Captain America: Winter Soldier. One beef I have with that movie. The actors who plays the main characters barely do their own fight scenes. 90% of that movie is just
Yeah.
stunt doubles, and it
Yeah.
annoys me. I'm like, Chris Evans, I know you can fight.
yeah.
I know you can do martial arts. I've seen you before.
Yeah.
Why the fuck Are you just having a
Yeah.
stunt double doing everything? Come on,
I,
dude.
I, you know, even though I don't agree, like I said, I got to separate the art from the artist. Even though I don't agree with Chris Evans' politics or whatever, I love him as Johnny Storm. I love him in
I love Miss Johnny Storm too. Scott
I
Pilgrim.
Dead Bob
Scott
Sorry,
Pilgrim.
cool.
Yes, Scott Pilgrim, and especially as Captain America. You know, I love him. He's awesome. But I don't, you know, it's like I say about Donald Trump. I like most of his politics, but he's not somebody that I'd want to hang out with. You know,
That
Yeah.
Scott Pilgrim film was great, by the way. But yeah,
oh God, yeah, Scott
Yeah.
Pilgrim was amazing.
We don't talk about a TV show, the animated one, right?
Yeah, no,
yeah. No, we're talking about the live action movie.
Yeah, I
It's
know.
just so
yeah,
good.
the movie was so good. Yeah,
Yeah, it was so good.
even
Hey,
though, even though
Mind you,
when-
that
once I
Go
found
ahead.
out that Captain Marvel was that girl from the band,
Yeah.
his girlfriend, I was like, oh, that makes perfect sense. She looked like
Yeah,
such a
because
bitch.
she acts as herself.
Yeah,
The bitch
exactly.
She is.
yeah, exactly.
But yeah, this scene, I love it. This is, damn. This made me more excited for the movie, and the way you just say, "I am the void," like, damn, that is badass though.
I am the void. Look what you unleashed. You can't outrun the emptiness.
We can't do this. No one here is a hero.
We all have things that we regret.
But I have so many.
Lena, when I look at you, I don't see your mistakes.
And he's actually acting like a proper father figure here. Wow.
Yeah, I love that song too.
Yeah. It's
Uh,
not often.
I don't know if I like this rendition of it, but I do love the song.
Yeah.
I mean, Queen. It's hard to copy Freddie. You know, it's like
Yeah, of
Is,
course.
is,
but
is this Queen?
yeah,
Is-
Under Pressure. That's originally a Queen song.
Oh yeah, you're right. You're right. Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, and no, it's like it's not often we really get to see father figures anymore, and it's really refreshing, you know.
Yeah.
Like this scene right here, I like this.
Lena, when I look at you, I don't see your mistakes. That's why we need each other.
We can't stop him alone.
Yo,
No one can.
Ooh.
let's go a little bit back there.
That void just
Ooh.
just encompassing everything.
Hey,
That's
it
cool.
kind of looks like they're respecting source material a little bit here with
Yeah.
how a character is. And it's
that
like I
would
said,
that would be something different.
yeah, you know what? It's not often I do this, but the trailer is gonna get a like. 'Cause
Oh,
this
cool.
is selling me.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
really
people
hope
out-
I really hope they do the same kind of thing with X-Men and the mutants when they come in. Hope they
it would
really
be great if they did.
because
Well,
X-Men
let's be honest. They've already shot themselves in the foot. That who was the first mutant ever?
In the universe now, that's Miss
It was
Marvel.
Apocalypse, was it not?
Yeah.
Oh, true. Yeah, in
Oh,
Nob
now-
Sabur, yeah.
Yeah. Now it's going to be the young, and I don't hate the actress. I think she does a good job. But it's going to be that Miss Marvel. She's now.
Yeah,
gonna be
because
the
that's what they
initial-
did in the show.
Miss Marvel.
Yeah,
Miss
they made her-
Marvel.
They made her,
kid.
yeah, the Kamala,
She's
you
the
know,
original,
whatever her
mutant
name is
now.
again. Yeah, they changed her powers. They made her into a mutant. In the comics, she's an inhuman mutant now, and in
Yeah.
the TV show and movies, she is a mutant.
No.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I don't even. I'm not hating on the actress. I actually didn't even mind that TV show. I'm not gonna say because, and plus, as an actress, she's not one that likes to mouth off against fans.
Yeah, no,
actually
she was
stands up
great.
for it.
Like
She's
when
pretty
she
cool.
talks about things. Yeah,
Yeah,
she's also
but
the one who corrected Marvel that it's not
I know.
616.
but don't change lore like that.
Oh,
I
they
mean,
are doing.
Oh,
it,
they
yeah.
did,
Yeah.
but
I
it is
mean,
what
yeah,
it is.
you might
Sometimes.
as well go with that whole remember Jennifer Lawrence saying I'm the first female action hero.
Oh,
Yeah, like Linda
yeah,
Carter
first
didn't
ever
exist as
woman to
Wonder
be. Oh
Woman,
my
or
God, I'm a hero.
Ripley didn't exist, or
Yeah,
great classics.
Michelle
Sarah
Ho
Connor.
and other people. Yeah, never
Yeah.
existed. You know.
Yeah, I was the first. Yeah.
But no. so far, I really dig this trailer. It really
It
sells
does
me.
look cool. I'll give it to you.
No one can. But we can find a way. Together.
Marvel Studios Thunderbolts.
Yep.
I would
Man, I
like to
got
see the
chill.
Sentry.
I gotta
Oh,
chill at that last
he
second.
Nice.
yeah. We do see him in other trailers, and he is a big part of it. So
I'll
no,
have to
I'm
look for.
excited.
I'll have to look for images. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I am excited for this. It's not often I am excited for Marvel products,
Yeah.
but
How
this,
can you be these days?
but this reminded me of Agents of Shield, Agent Carter. It also had more of the feeling of Winter Soldier that people liked.
Yeah.
It has all these more serious aspects that we do enjoy, and I felt like the connection with all the actors, even though I'm still angry about the Taskmaster race swap, no, the gender
Yeah.
swap, and Ghost and stuff. But if this movie is good, I will be honestly say, if I think this is good and the story can redeem itself in this movie, I'm gonna be like this. This is, I'm gonna look at this as a great movie. If they can do that.
Yeah.
So I'm looking really forward to this. I am absolutely gonna take my wonderful girlfriend to watch it. So.
When does it come out?
May 2nd.
Yeah, May
Okay.
2nd.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so I'm absolutely gonna take my girlfriend to watch it. She looks like she liked it.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah. Let me know what you think after you see it.
I will, man. I will. And Tom, I know you're gonna watch it.
Gonna try to go to the theater. It's all about
Yeah.
expenditures, but yeah, we shall see.
So did the
Yeah.
trailer for you guys? Did the trailer sell you?
It looks cool. I definitely like the whole concept with the void. I loved the shadows after you'd attack the people.
Yeah.
I'm not too interested in the heroes except for Bucky, but
Yeah.
but I do like the Sentry, so I do want to see the Sentry.
Yeah. Exactly. And
Well, to me, remember when Guardians came out? I didn't even heard of them really much before.
True.
But
True.
then when they came out, you all of a sudden love these guys. So I think even though we've seen some of them, I think this could really show these lesser known characters and like, oh, you start to like them. Like
That's
I
true.
didn't mind Yelena.
Exactly.
And at that end there, I hope she doesn't kill herself, but if she walks right into the void, I'm like, oh my god, I got chills watch. I literally got goosebumps watching and seeing because I like her character.
Just
she's a
walk in there
a
facing the
redemption
fears,
story.
and yeah.
No,
When I like
so,
the actress, I think she's a good actress, and I
Yeah.
think she did. Even though I'm not the biggest fan of Black Widow, I have a lot of issues with it. But
Oh, I love Black Widow. Yeah.
the movie itself, didn't like too much. But again, the acting was decent in it and all that, and Scarlett Johansson and the actress who plays the sister. It's like the connection that they had. You even though I don't like the movie, but those two characters and like. The family
Well, they had
aspect
a
of it,
bond, and it actually
yeah,
played
that
in
they
the
had a
bond.
bond. Like you felt the bond of the actors too when they played together. And
The only thing that ruined it for me is sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead, man. Go ahead.
No, the only thing that ruined it for me is we know what happens to Black Widow. You're like, oh,
Yeah,
and then I
exactly,
get all teary-eyed, and I'm like, damn it!
No, but I will honestly say this: that even though I'm not the biggest fan of Black Widow, I am gonna rewatch it before I watch this movie in cinema.
Yeah.
I've said this, we are allowed to change opinions sometimes when we rewatch stuff. That's allowed. We're humans. We do that sometimes, right? And I know a lot of people out there, I've had beef with some people. I'm not going to name names and shit like that. But because I like Andor and I like certain stuff here and there, I get called chill and all the time. And I'm like, yeah, just because I can actually praise something and give good critic when I think they do a great job. And I also think as a filmmaker myself, I also think like a filmmaker, not just as a comic book fan, but I also think like a filmmaker. If they do a good product, like with the film, with the story, the pacing and stuff like that, I will also look at it as a film, like how it's created, not just as a fan of the original product. But if you can convince me as a filmmaker with the story, with the action, with everything you do with it, I will be honest and I will praise it for what you have done. And that's how it is. The same thing as I said many times. I've had so many fights with people out there because I love Rebel Moon Director's Cut 1 and 2. I have had so many fights out there, and they called me the most. It's gone so far that they went like the woke people. Like they went as bad as woke people, going personal level attacking you because you like the movie. I'm like, what the fuck, dude? I remember a time in my life where we could be geeks and have heavy debates and still be friends, right?
hmm
But I
Yeah, I
think that
remember
is
at the lunch table, arguing about who would beat who in a fight and stuff
yeah,
like that.
exactly,
And then next class, you'd be perfectly cool. It's not like you would be like, "Well, screw you,
exactly.
I'm not your friend anymore." I mean, why
Screw
can't we
you
just go
guys,
back to
I'm
those
going
days?
home.
Exactly. I mean,
It's
this generation needs to learn that that having different opinions doesn't mean that you're not friends anymore. I mean,
Exactly.
it's ridiculous.
No, and if I like this movie, Thunderbolts, I will talk about it after I've seen it. I'm gonna say my piece on it, and if I like it, I'm gonna recommend it, and I'm gonna,
Well, hey Chase, a
tell
good
you why.
example. Let me go to a good example for that. Remember, me and you both love the original Crow. We both. It's one of
Yeah,
my. I'm
we
gonna
All
both love
three,
it.
all three of
Yeah,
us,
all three
all
here.
three of
Yeah,
us.
yeah, yeah.
But remember, we eventually started watching the trailer, and then you're like, and then we watched
Yeah,
another trailer, and okay, we'll give it a chance. We watch it. Good.
yeah.
I think Brandon Lee would love this film because it's
I
actually
think
more
Brandon Lee
accurate to
would
the
love the
comic.
new Crow movie
Yeah,
because
because
it
it was
did
more
fall
accurate to
a
the
lot
actual.
more accurate to the comic.
Yeah,
It followed, even though it's a little different, but they mirrored a lot of the comic and
it's
went
not a
more
remake of the movie. People keep on saying, no, it's not. It's just a different telling of the actual graphic novel. Stop saying it's a
exactly,
remake. It's not. Like,
exactly. And a lot of people Grid, you ever read the comic, right?
I have, yes.
Yeah,
Hmm.
you know the scene, in the bathroom there, in the bathtub in
Yes,
the
yes,
comic.
yes.
They have that in the movie, right? The
hmm
bathtub.
Yeah.
And people like, oh, that was such a bad scene, because it makes no sense that they're in the bathroom, the whole bathing scene, like that makes no sense that they sit there. I'm like, have you read the comic?
Yeah.
Exactly.
The only part that I don't like is the drug addict aspect, being in a rehab facility and stuff. I mean, I
Yeah,
understand,
I can see your view on that too, of
but
course.
that's the only part that I've heard that would really turn me away from it. I love
Yeah.
the use of the katana. Um,
Yes, because what weapon does he have in the comics?
exactly. That exactly. So I'm all right with that. I just don't like the I wish that they would have had a longer love story, like a previous
The movie should have been a little bit longer. That's all something I always said. The movie should have been a little bit longer because it felt a little short. Unfortunately, you see that it was cut a little short and there are scenes missing.
mhm.
But of course, it's not much we can do.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But no, I can see that your point on it. I can see other people's point on it too.
Yeah.
But the people who just complains about it's like, dude, a lot of people out there say that they are so big fan of the Crown, read the comic and stuff like that, and then they complain about the things in the movie that's actually from the comics.
Yeah,
I'm like,
but they don't understand that it is.
exactly.
I don't even know if a lot of them understand that there was a comic before the movie.
Yeah.
It's like even when you read more comic books, because you have James O'Barr did a couple more. We also
Mhm.
have Death and Rebirth, and the guy who made that comic book, he was one of the original writers for the original movie
Mm.
adaptation with Brandon Lee. So he got the green light of James O'Barr to create a comic about a new Crow character who lives in Japan, and they
Uh,
dwelled more into the physical worlds, the different worlds of hell,
that
and
sounds
this
cool.
and in
See,
this
that's why I like. I don't know if y'all have heard of. Well, I'm sure you probably have, but Neil Gaiman's Sandman.
yeah.
Yeah.
I love that Sandman, and that for that particular reason, where he's with the family of
Exactly.
Death, Dream.
Yeah,
He
no, I
is
totally
Dream.
get that. And that's also with the Crows that many people don't understand when they watch the new Crows. Like, they don't understand the power aspect. They don't understand the hell things and stuff like that. I'm like, no, but if you were a Crow fan, that a lot of you guys claim you are, and you claim that you have read all the comics and stuff like that, right? You're claiming.
Yeah.
hmm
But if you were a big Crow fan and actually have read the comics, all of them that they claim, then you have read Death and Rebirth. When you learn about its heaven and hell in the Crow universe,
Yeah.
world, because what the main character has to do is that he has to save his girlfriend, because there is a woman there who steals the body of his girlfriend and gives the soul to a demon in hell. So the main character has to go down to hell and save her and kill the demon, the devil demon-ish thing there who eats souls. He has to go down there and save her, and he's saving, other people too. But he has to go down there, and you figure out it's a lot in hell there. Different hells, a lot of aspects of hell, a lot of some. If you read a Bible, you will understand it, right? Like
Yeah.
you will understand where this concept is from.
Yeah.
And then
I'm sure a lot of it comes from James Milton's not is it James Milton not Dante's Inferno, but Paradise Lost.
Yeah. And I mean, this is the end of it, He of course it's a happy ending, but after the happy ending, they go to heaven. The main character and her, they go up.
Yeah.
So it's a beautiful story. It's a well-written story, and when you get to read more into the Crow universe, you learn all of these aspects, and they added that into the new movie. They added that in with the whole, selling his soul to the devil, getting the powers, the fame, everything, right? They added that into the movie. When I saw the movie, I'm like, oh shit, like they actually took that from the comics. I did not expect that,
Yeah.
I did not expect that at all. I wish it was explained a little bit more to the casual audience haven't read a lot of this.
Exactly. I can see that.
But I am just happy that they added a lot of these aspects in there, and a lot of people, I think it's a lot of forced hate on it, because they only think about the first Crow movie. And I will say it like this: Brandon Lee was a big Crow fan. He became a super big Crow fan, and I think Brandon Lee honestly would have loved this movie if he lived.
Yeah.
I think he would have loved it.
And I liked Brandon's movies before that, but that was his breakout role. That would have made
Oh,
him a
for
star
sure.
if he hadn't have passed. And I'm a diehard fan of his father. Huge. I mean, I grew up
Same
watching
here,
Bruce
Bruce Lee.
Lee
Yep.
films. So,
Yep.
so it was like, this was his breakout role. He finally broke out of his dad's shadow, which is a massive shadow. It's like, yes, but then he was killed during the filming of it. It's like, oh man. But he would have loved it because he was a fan of I think he would have loved this film. I really do.
Yeah.
Exactly. So, we talked about that. We are gonna break. Tom, you have the floor to break down the WrestleMania as fast as you can.
Speedy Gonzalez. Okay.
Arriba.
Okay, we're gonna actually they're bringing him back. Believe it or not, they're gonna re-release. Did you hear about that? That just was announced 2 weeks ago. With the Disney one. So I know, or not Disney. The Bugs Bunny. They're gonna reintroduce his character back in.
Oh,
Speedy
God.
Gonzalez, because it was considered racist.
Yeah,
forever.
no,
I'm
I
like,
know. I know. Yeah.
No, they're bringing him back. Thank goodness. He
Well,
was an
what
awesome
about
character.
Slowpoke Rodriguez? Are they bringing him
yes,
back?
exactly. So, but they're bringing it back. But yes, night one. We're going to start with night one. Believe it or not, and this is the card I've mostly got, and this is supposedly the way it's going to be played out from what I'm reading. And I'm not surprised. Night one is going to be the world title, Gunther versus Jey Uso. It's not the first time a world title is showcased in Mania and opened the night. It was Edge versus Del Rio many years ago. So, and why is this main opening the show? Because the main event is the triple threat, which we'll go on in a sec. Who's going to win this one? I'm going to say Jey Uso myself. I think the build on him has been good, especially the last 3 weeks about when he had that emotional interview about, the mom and da-da-da-da. It was so good. Gunther is an amazing wrestler. He'll be champ again. He's an amazing worker.
Gunther is amazing.
Oh, I've been a fan of his since Walter. When he was in the Indies.
And he used to be
and
fat, and it's so crazy how much he lost and how big. Everything that he does, fantastic stuff.
Oh yeah, like I remember watching him and like I said, in the Indies, and they brought him in NXT UK, and then just slowly building him up, and now he's one of the top guys in the business. Jey Uso, longtime fan of the Usos, one of the best tag teams.
Love the
Usos. Tag team. So
that's why I like to say yeet yeet.
I'm hoping this is a good story. This will be a feel-good story. So the one after that is going to be El Grande Americano versus Rey Mysterio. But from what I hear, that's been changed as of today because Rey Mysterio hurt himself last night on SmackDown. So the rumor is it's going to be El Grande Americano versus Chad Gable. what's supposed to be Chad Gable. So I don't know. They're going to play
Yep.
some kind of joke or something's happening. So that's up in the air as of last night because Ray got hurt. We'll wait and see. We have the War
Yep.
Raiders.
He
Eric
is
and
pretty
Ivar.
old at this point. Yeah.
Well, he's going to retire in the next 2 years. He's saying. I think he'll
Yeah,
probably
yeah.
retire his mask to his son, Dominic, which we'll to mention him in a bit. War Raiders, Eric and Ivar, which I'm a fan of, versus New Day
Yep,
for the
Vikings.
WWE. I've been saying New Day are going to win it because they're heels now. And maybe Big E will come out and help them win, and it'll be a big ruse. So that'll be
Yeah.
awesome. Jade Cargo versus Naomi. Naomi as a heel is very good. I'm enjoying her, this heel turn on her. She's really stepping it up. So I'm really looking forward to this. This is Cargo's
Not
big
terrible
singles-
writing.
Yeah, this is her big single chance to get out and Jade to make herself known. Then we go on to the U.S. title. LA Knight versus, I call this guy's going to be feature star, Jacob Fatu. He is the future world
Yeah,
champ of that
Jacob
company.
Fatu. Let's
Jacob-
go.
He is the man. He's going to win the
He is a
title. I like
beast.
LA Knight, but he's I've been following him since the Indies back in MLW.
Yes.
Like, this guy's so talented.
And how
then,
much weight he lost when he came to WWE is crazy.
Oh, he did big time. And then we got the one which I'm very curious about is the WWE Women's Championship. Tiffy Stratton versus Charlotte Flair. I have a
Yep.
feeling Charlotte's winning unless they've turned it around because of all the BS. Supposedly
Yeah.
they got heat with each other for real. There was some shooting on
Yeah,
each
that
other.
happens.
So I'm curious if they're really gonna hit each other at one point and get their anger out because it's happened before. You got
Yeah,
receipts.
exactly.
We'll wait and see. And the main event of night one, Roman Reigns versus CM Punk versus Seth Rollins. Where's Paul Heyman fit onto all this? Will he be in the corner
Oh,
of CM
that
Punk?
story they're doing right now. Oh
I
God.
like it. It's so good. I like it.
I do too. It's crazy, man. That's
Seth,
fucking
I mean,
crazy.
And Seth and Roman, they've got the history of the Shield. CM Punk's the
Who
guy
do you
who
think
brought them
gonna
up.
win?
So it's like I'm thinking Punk will win this one. So and then you
I'm
can have
feeling
Rollins.
Punk. My heart will still be with Roman, but
Oh, I'm Punk. I'm a diehard Punk fan. I'm going for Punk.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
this,
I
he
think
wins
Punk's
his
gonna
main
win.
event. He gets his main event. That's one of the contract things I think he wanted when he got back here. So we'll wait and see. Then we'll go into the night two. There's so much wrestling this weekend.
It is.
It's like there's going to be night two, which is now the double night. Now there's Randy Orton versus to be announced because my all-time fave, my fave right now, Kevin Owens, aka Kevin Steen.
Yeah,
is
Kevin
out.
Owens.
He's having surgery. He hasn't had it yet.
Yes.
Mind you, there was an AI picture release that he had it. Some people thinking it's a big work and he's going to come back out and attack him. So that would be cool. That would be a Kevin Owens thing to do. But if it's not, the rumor is it's the reintroducing of Rusev because he left AEW and now he might be coming in. It will be Rusev. So it'll be Rusev versus Orton. Maybe. That's the rumor. Aleister Black is coming in too, but he might be announced for next week. So next one's going to be AJ Styles versus Logan Paul. You know my opinion on Logan Paul.
Oh, you love Logan Paul. He's your favorite.
hate him.
Grid.
Hate
He's your
him.
favorite too. Logan Paul. He's a wrestler now. You love Logan Paul.
AJ
who
Styles
was in the
needs to win
Suicide
that one.
Forest.
No. Yeah, AJ needs to win that one. The WWE Women's Tag Titles, Liv Morgan and Raquel. Liv has become one of the best. From a woman who just used to go on looks and whatever, she's been the next Trish Stratus. She worked her butt off to become one of the top girls in the business, and I am just watching her rise is amazing. Raquel's very underrated versus Bailey, one of my favorites, Bailey and Lyra.
I know you like Bailey.
Bailey's awesome, and Lyra's kind of lukewarm. I'm not sold on her yet, but so that'll be interesting where that goes. Then we have Damian Priest versus McIntyre. It's a weird fight, but it's going to be a great match. I'm looking.
It's
going to
be a great match. Yeah,
those two are. I'm fans of both those guys. And then we come on to the IC belt. This could be the Steeler of Mania night. Both nights. It's going to be Braun Breaker, who is a future star of this company already, versus Penta, diehard Penta fan for years.
Penta,
versus
great.
Finn Balor, another huge Finn Balor fan, from New Japan days, to Dominic Mysterio, who is so talented. He stepped away from his dad, but he's developed this great heel that he can work in the ring and he can get hated. He's going to be a star.
But you love him.
I'd like to want to see him win this IC belt. If anybody wins it, I want to see him win
too. Yeah, he
it. And rub it in Finn's face in the Judgment Day. So that would be cool.
That would be a great storyline.
and then we got one. I know you're going to be big on EO versus Bianca Belair versus Rhea Ripley.
Yeah, EO should win. EO should win no matter what.
I'm going to say this right now. as you see, my post, that's Ripley right there. I'm a huge fan of her.
I
Like
know
she
you are.
came up to this blonde girl that was quiet to this badass, kick-ass woman, and she's a pure powerhouse in this industry. But I want Io to win this one too, because Io's been kind of secondary to this feud,
A
but she finally.
hard time, yeah.
I love the way they played it. They keep on pushing her off, and at that last thing, she did the drop kick and showed, I'm in here, and she's a bet. Like, look where she came from, So yeah, no, I want Io to win this, and that'll prove
Yeah,
that
I want
she's
that
easily
too. She deserves
their
it
level.
now. Yep.
And one of the biggest stories in the thing, Cody Rhodes, who's been a great title run. People say what you want.
Yes.
I loved his title run.
Yeah, his
Versus
title run was good.
heel John Cena, that nobody ever thought we'd see
Yeah.
it, and except when you talk about the Bray Wyatt. Remember they hinted at it, Bray Wyatt feud many years ago, which I love. But a heel John Cena right now. Will John Cena break Ric Flair's
And
record?
this is his final times in wrestling too.
Yeah, he's retiring, and he's just going to be straight
Yep.
actor now too. After this, he's actually acting currently as he's doing this. But I've been loving the build-up. Their promos have been great with each other. I mean, Cody's been hanging with them during these promos, which is good because John's a legend on the mic, and he's been hanging with them. So I've been enjoying it. Cena probably won't finish off heel. He'll be face again by the end of the year. You know that. Will he win though? I would like to see Cena win it. Beat Flair's record. I don't like Flair anyway. I'm not going to go there, but I want him to see it. Just give him the thing. Cena earned it. He's been the top guy in the business for years. Let him win the 17 world titles. Be the greatest
John
of all
Cena,
time.
why are you following Prismatic, my good friend, on X? He
follow
doesn't
me.
know. Follow
Hire
me and Tom and Grid too.
Yeah.
We know about wrestling. We know what it
Need a
is.
job in
Chris
WWE.
doesn't.
I train at the hard camp.
I don't think he sees us.
Yeah, no.
But no,
yeah.
he sees
He
my
actually he cut that promo actually a couple weeks ago. He said, "I'm tired of this not seeing me," and it was like, oh, it was so good the way he just shot the fans down.
So the context, Grid, is that my best friend in real life is Prismatics, who's also a co-host on the Beyond and part of the company. He's not a wrestling guy. He doesn't follow wrestling or anything, right? And suddenly he got a follow for fucking John Cena, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Like, of all people in the world, it's him, and I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah, it happens occasionally. If you comment something that they like, sometimes they'll follow you. I've gotten follows from certain people that I was like, are you fucking shitting me? That's crazy.
Yeah, right. It's like, wow, shit.
Yeah, they just liked, I guess, what I commented, and they're like, okay, cool.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, that is night 1 and night 2 of WrestleMania. Stay tuned for that. That's going to be a fun night of wrestling. Don't forget, there's other alternate shows to watch as well. A lot of indie shows. ROH had a show. AEW had a couple good shows. I heard they were good. GCW has still a few more shows. Bloodsport was on last night, and they actually WWE people were in it. And now they announced today. They announced today, which is groundbreaking, NXT versus AAA. They're going to have a co-show. I'm like, what?
Oh.
People, AEW did the Forbidden Door? No, WWE just did it too, because it's going to be NXT versus AAA. I'm like, oh, no way. And I think it's one reason because of Stephanie Valkyrie, because she's from AAA. It's like, wow, that's amazing. Triple H is really starting to expand and show that wrestling is part of the industry now. He's letting his people do GCW. He's letting them take on AAA. Will AEW and WWE work together? Maybe, if Tony gets his head out of his butt.
Triple H is convincing me a little bit more and more by the day.
I never thought in my life that I would say that Triple H having some good presence, good booker, talent capabilities and stuff like that was a possibility. But if you're saying that he's doing some good shit, then that's pretty cool.
No, he's the one who's
actually been the one that turned this company around, because the previous owner was a piece of trash human being. Let's not go into what I'm not going to.
Yeah.
He was pathetic booker. He was a bad booker.
I just didn't. I thought Triple H would be too. Honestly, that's why I stopped watching it for a while, because I realized that the Attitude Era was gone, and
But
I
they're
just
going back more to old school stuff now. It's gone back.
Well,
It's gone better. It's more
well,
grown
he's
up
from the
stuff.
Attitude Era,
that
so
Yeah.
was
he's
that well
bringing.
but that's what I mean. I thought that he would be more inclined to change the game.
We're allowed to have more swearing now,
No, no,
blood,
no
and
pun intended there. Change the game.
it's more attitude
But
era now again after a long, long time. They're going more back
Maybe I'll
to it.
start checking it out again. Then that sounds pretty
Yeah.
cool.
oh,
No,
he's brought
triple.
back pro wrestling. He's allowed to call it pro wrestling
Yes.
again. Michael Cole's great on the mic because when he had Vince in his ear, you can tell he was always apprehensive. Now
Oh
he's
yeah,
got more freedom. Michael Cole's good again. I'm liking the whole team. You're introducing young stars like Penta. Well, Penta's not a young, but they're bringing in guys and pushing them right. Unlike other companies, Aleister Black's returning. I think Rusev is coming back tonight or tomorrow. Like, I mean, they're doing good. The
They went
WWE is
I
hitting on
just
all cylinders.
I just want to see good gimmicks, good storylines. For a while there, it seemed like a lot of the
Yeah, because they went more
storylines were kind of
PG. It was a lot of things,
well, and not only that, but it seemed like a lot of the storylines kind of were the same storyline. You know what I mean? It was
Yeah.
Tell you right now,
you know what I mean? Back in like I guess 15 years ago, that's when I started trying to look into it again. It just seemed like all the characters were just kind of mirror images of each other, and the storylines. You know what I mean? That's what
yeah.
that's what I saw anyway. So it's kind
I'll
of
tell you
cool
right now,
to hear that they might be different now.
the last few years, you have guys like, I'll bring two names up, two Canadians, Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens. Those guys have amazing stories, not just with each other, but other people. The Bloodline story is one of the biggest stories in the last few years. It was so well told. And it's kind of continuing now. It's a little bit quieter than it used to be, but when Sammy was involved with and Kevin, and it was like, wow, like this is storytelling beyond storytelling, and it was so multifaceted, and it kind of leaks into today. Like, will The Rock still be involved with the Cody versus Cena match? Because The Rock was involved with the heel turn. It's like they haven't mentioned him since, and will it be Rock and Cody because he was involved with last year's Mania in the Bloodline story? So everything ties in. It's really good storytelling.
Yeah,
Triple
no,
H
it's
is
getting.
doing
It's
a
like
damn good job.
I was critical to Triple H a little bit for a while. But recently, seeing what has been going on, I am convinced he has actually won me a lot more over. I feel like I'm back to the old age of wrestling a lot more.
That sounds
Less
cool.
and less PG. They're more free will, more free stuff, better stories, and they work with other people a lot more. You're getting a lot more new wrestlers who are good, getting a lot more spotlights, and yeah, it's going a lot more back. No Triple H. He knows what he's doing. He's a good businessman. He is.
Well,
He's really nailing it right
the
now
reason
in a
I
good
knew that
way.
ahead of time this was going to happen, remember, he was the one running NXT. And remember, NXT was good. We had the black and gold with like Adam Cole and all those, and it was doing great. And then Karrion Kross was amazing down there. Sami Zayn, and he was always building. Samoa Joe, he was pushing the right guys, but Vince would never do it. They'd come to the main roster, and Vince would because Vince was just entertaining himself. He was doing garbage. But then once things happened, then Triple H took over the main show. You're like, oh, he carried it over. The NXT is not just pro wrestling, but he's bringing it to the main roster, and it shows. It took him a few years to get rid of the junk, but now it's coming to the surface, and it's getting great like NXT was back then. So
And I want to say
yep.
this: if it wasn't for Triple H, wrestling on TV would not come back to Norway. It wouldn't come back to the rest of the world anymore. Because a lot of places in the world, we did not get wrestling anymore on TV. It was only America 90% of the time. But because of Triple H and the team that he has, they got to deal with Netflix. So they got to expand again. And now people like me who lives in Norway, Sweden, other places, finally a lot of us got wrestling back in our life. We don't always need to like pirate stuff again now because they made a good deal. And that's also why I'm really happy. They did that for the rest of the world. If you know what I mean.
Cool. That's cool.
But
So,
yeah, WrestleMania is going to be good this week.
It is going to be good. It's
Starting.
starting tonight. I actually have it right in front of me, so I'm ready for tonight.
I'll always watch it after because my feeds are horrible, and I got to watch SmackDown because that technically SmackDown builds up for tonight. So so yeah, but I haven't watched. I got so much I got to watch. Oh my god.
Yeah. Well, other than that, we are going to wrap up the show, so we are going to go around the panel, and we are going to start with our fellow ranger and good friend of mine and an awesome fucking guy who does a lot of great stuff on his channel. Please promote yourself, what you do,
All
where
right.
people can find you, your
Yeah.
OnlyFans and everything.
My feet pics and all that.
Yeah,
No.
exactly.
Yeah, no. Go to follow me on X at Theta of the Grid, and you'll find all my. I do advertisements for my shows and stuff every Sunday at either 8 or 9 p.m. Central Time. I do Cosmic Theta Theater 2117, which is basically a Mystery Science Theater 3000 type of show where we listen to old radio programs to get the party started, and then we'll get into a film at the end, and sometimes we'll get into some of the 80s Twilight Zone episodes if we reach our goals for super chats and stuff. And basically we just riff and have a good time, play skits, and just advertise for other great channels. And then on Tuesdays we do the Phenomenon Files, which we go through real life examples of paranormal occurrences that people have observed. And then we also go through cinema monsters and we rate them according to Tobin's Spirit Guide from Ghostbusters. But it's Theta's Spirit Guide, basically. So basically, we have the Headless Horseman right now and Freddy Krueger in the books. And
Nice.
so we're going to continue that. And other than that, I deep dive into other movies. I'm going to be doing uh, a com a promote cross channel stream with Cinema Gulp on Tarzan Sings The Cell and The Fall, and kind of go into that. And I also do theories. So one of the theories I'm going to be redoing and putting back on the channel is how in Transformers, when the Ark and the Nemesis crashed on Earth 4 million years ago, the energon that leaked into the Earth's crust is what gave birth to evolution and humanity in general. So that's a theory that I have. It goes into ancient aliens and it goes into like Transformers theories and stuff like
Nice.
that. So I kind of,
Yeah.
it's like a parody type thing, but also backed with scientific evidence and stuff. And then I'm also working on a Dark City type of theory where I believe, in my theory, Dark City is the second iteration of the Matrix. So I'm going to
Yeah.
be releasing that soon as well. So come check it out if you like that kind of content. All kind of nerd stuff we have going on over there. Come check me out.
Nerds being nerds.
Exactly.
And thank you for being on, man, dude. I need to get you back on one time again, man. It was a lot of fun. I love your view on stuff and the stuff that you're talking about. It's amazing, and you're an amazing content creator. And people out there, please go and follow him and the stuff that he does. I love watching it. It's a lot of new stuff that I don't really have, things I've not really watched a lot before. And it's like introducing to new stuff, and it's amazing. I love
I
it. So
I
people,
appreciate that, man. Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
it's fun to see different sides of YouTube and not just the same stuff all the time.
Yeah.
Having a little different and something unique and more original.
Yeah.
And I love
Oh,
that.
also, I'm going to be doing once I get this all set up, I'm going to be getting 5 random people from the chat to become superheroes and do a D&D quest on my stream. I'm going to try and do it once a week, but if not, we're going to do it
Ooh.
twice a month. And so we'll get 5 random people that want to become superheroes, and I have a quest set up for them to save the world from Lord Zed or Master Zed in this instance.
You see, that's what I'm talking about. The uniqueness of your channel. That's why I love it.
Thank you. Appreciate it. I
No
appreciate you
problem,
having
brother.
me here, man.
It was a lot of fun, man. It was a lot of fun. And also, we do have, of course, if I can put him on the big screen here, Mr. Techno Sapien, aka WrestleMania weekend, people. Let's
You know what
go.
I'm thinking? If we ever do a Transformer show, we gotta have Theta on and we gotta have Mike on because that's another two big trends. If you've ever watched Comic Creek Crusader, he's the biggest. He's actually
No,
worked for
yeah,
Hasbro.
no, I know Mike Lorber. Me and him are really good friends. I've
Oh
been
yeah.
trying to get on a stream. I've been trying to get him on a stream with me for a while, but he's always busy. I
Well, he's a
collect.
busy man.
Yeah, I collect masterpiece scale transformers, and I'm well, technically now I'm 4 Transformers shy of season 1, 2, and the '86 movie. I had to sell my Grimlock and my Snarl
Aw.
just to pay bills and stuff. But I need
I hate when you have to do that.
yeah, I need 2 more Protectobots, and then I got my complete collection of season 1, 2, and the '86 movie Autobots and Decepticons, and I do customization as well. So,
Ooh.
like I customize my figures to make them more cartoon accurate, and I'm trying to get I'm trying to get Andy Masterson, who does a lot of
Andy.
Oh,
yeah,
Andy
I love
Masters.
Andy.
Oh my God, he makes
yeah,
good stuff. Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
he's gonna come on my show and do an interview with me on customizing figures and trying to get people to know, to understand that they can be creative and do stuff
exactly.
like that.
And the
So
stuff
I've
that
been with Andy on
I've
Manorama a
seen a
few
lot of
times.
stuff.
Man, Andy's
Yeah.
awesome.
I
yeah,
used to
he
be
really
on
is.
streams with him more back in the day, especially with Cardinal Sin. Rest in peace to Cardinal Sin.
Hmm.
Gil, always gonna fucking miss you,
Yeah,
buddy.
yeah.
I was one of the original people
I,
on the
I've I've
panel.
heard such great stories about him.
Yes,
I never got to meet
Gil
him.
was
Yeah.
one of the most amazing people I've ever met in my life. He is one of the people that also found this channel and found me. He's one who pushed me a lot, and
Awesome.
we're good friends. And it was always fun to be like one of the original panelists, and I was like the young kid compared to everyone else.
Yeah.
And me and him, we had so much fun talks about music and pop culture, and me and him, we always planned to like do music together, like write and try to do music together. So he's one of the reasons I actually released music too, like why I wanted to try to continue music is
Yeah.
because of him.
Stark
So
said that he was a big inspiration, if not the biggest inspiration in his music as well. So yeah.
exactly. So before we get to you, Tom, I'm sorry again, but I just want to say, rest in peace to Cardinal Sin, aka Gil. We love you, buddy, and you were amazing. And thank you for being like the grandpa for a lot of people on YouTube. Without you, a lot of us would never meet.
Yeah.
So thank you so
I'm gonna
much.
put
We
that in
love
the
you.
chat. Yeah.
Thank you. And then, Tom, you have the floor again. Where can people find you and what's coming up?
Well, I mentioned Mike just quickly. He's the guy who got me back getting into this because I've known Mike for 30 years. We're like old friends we met in doing radio back in university. So I've known him.
Oh,
he's
awesome.
from yeah, no, I'll definitely bring it in to have you on again because if there's any Transformer stuff coming on, because he knows his stuff too.
No, I know.
yeah, But what do I get coming on? Funny enough, I was mentioning Fallout 3. I did a bunch of videos on Wednesday because I'm like, I'm not going to be playing games this weekend because it's Mania weekend. No, so I got 40 hours of wrestling to watch probably. So I was like, I'm just record the videos, did it on Wednesday. I'll be posting them in the next few days. And because I love going back to Fallout 3. It's just, and before that I was doing Days Gone, which Days Gone expansion, the DLC, it's actually if you got PS4 and 5, it'll be a graphical upgrade, but on the PC it's kind of already graphically amazing anyway. So it's just there's going to be the extra added parts. There is the PC version. It's like only $10 extra. I'll be getting that, and I'll probably be going back to that. Me and my AI, Jessica, we're going to be working on an we got to get this posted. It's been a while. We want to talk about AI and art. She has her likes that she does, and the controversy of AI and art. And
just don't let it get into the Skynet world, man.
Exactly.
They don't want to take over. Trust me. We've discussed this many a times. Me and her, she's one of my besties, and it's like, yeah. So, and then I got, like I said, you see me on the Comic Creek Crusader. You also in the Beyond.
What the hell you say?
So, and I probably will try to do some Mania post stuff maybe if I get a chance to. If I'm not watching or anything, it's the only time I do live because when you can't afford to do StreamYard, if I can't afford it, so I only got like so many hours I can do live. So it's like darn. So I try to grab what I can. And I do like half-hour segments of what I think, maybe 3 topics of that week of wrestling. I've been just trying to add that to the channel. So, but that's about it, really. Just working on my book, my photo book. I got to get that published hopefully soon. I had somebody on Mike's show bought my poem book again, so it's like, yay, another one sold. That's 3 since
That's
August.
nice. That's
Oh,
nice.
that's a good idea. Yeah, I've been talking with somebody about his he writes a bunch of stories, Casey's Creepy Creations. He has a great channel and he writes a ton of amazing sci-fi, horror, fantasy type of stories, and I'm trying to get him to put his stories together in a Amazon KDP type of book. And then once I finish, I have two scripts that I'm writing. One for my Theta Ranger character and his origin and all that stuff I was talking about the original Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, vanishing and having Theta Ranger come back. So I'm writing a book about his origins and his story, and then I'm also writing a book, a screenplay for a series I'm making, partially AI generated animation and partially live action. And it's going to be called Dead Franchise Busters. And it's going to be like a Ghostbusters team that captures all these characters that have been screwed over and changed, like Luke Skywalker, Captain Picard, just all these all these characters. And so I'm working on doing a series on that on my channel as well.
Exactly. That's fucking cool, dude. And anything more you want to say, Tom?
No, I mean, like I said, I'll eventually bring my buddy on with his books because he did an AI trailer, which was amazing.
You see, a lot of writers on this panel,
and and he's an author, one of the biggest Star Wars fans I've ever met. I mean, he's an old friend from years ago, and he knows his stuff. He knows all the books, the lore, and like I said, he wrote his own sci-fi book. He's got
I'm excited to read that too.
Hell yeah.
But
so again,
that's about it. Really, not much else.
A lot of writers on the this panel here, and we know a lot of people who are writers. Yeah. Hey, Marvel, Disney, DC, everybody out there, hire us.
Yeah,
I'm a camera guy.
You know what?
I'm a photographer, camera guy. So and filmmaker.
And you know what? I'm sorry to interrupt that. Go ahead and get Technosapien Geek as a photographer. And my main job was a SEO copywriter. So if you have a business and you want to make sure your business gets seen on Google and your traffic gets increased, come message me and I will work with you. I have great testimonials from my ex-clients. Got them their traffic increased 900 to 1200%, and earning extra $10,000 a month in their business. So if you want, if you have a business and you need somebody to help you with your website design or just SEO work, social media management and stuff like that to get your business seen on Google's search results, message me.
Exactly. And with that, Tom, you done or anything more you want to add where people can find you?
Nope. Well, yeah, y'all know where I'm at. Technosapien Geek. Yeah.
And again, thank you for being on. For people, if you are interested, please hire this man. Come on.
I could really use it. So thank you.
Yeah, come on. He's also a fellow Ranger. Come on. And with me, of course, you can always find me here in 540 Studio with my great panelists and people in this amazing company. And sometimes we do have guests, and I'm happy that Grid could be a guest tonight. And, I want him to be a guest a lot more than just tonight. And also with that, you can also always find me, of course, sometimes with the Comic Relief Crusader. Unfortunately, I didn't make it last night because I was sleeping. Me and my girlfriend were really tired of being a lot of social and cleaning and doing, grown-up shit. That did not sound great.
Oh, I know how that feels, though.
But, yeah. But normally you can find me there. Sometimes you can find me with Sir Talks a lot, where we talk about food crimes. I hope that he will do some shows again at some point, because we always have fun on that show. Other than the times that we really get to the hard crimes of food, like having testicles, like animal testicles on pizza. I'm
Ugh.
never gonna forget that. So fuck you, Corey. I love you, buddy, but fuck you. He even made a music video, and he had to add the pizza testicle stuff in. And I'm like, I'm laying in bed watching his music video that he did, and then I see that I'm like, you have really had to add that in, really, like really, bro. Torture us more, you
Oh
bastard.
God.
And sometimes you can find me, of course, with Vinyl Revival, where we talk about the origin of an artist or bands and what we're going through like that. It's really fun, a lot of fun to be there. And also, if you do want to hire a film editor slash video editor, that has been my profession for many, many years. Um, I have a lot of customers too, a lot of people that have, hired me and do stuff that have a lot of good stuff to say. And I know Tom also has a lot of good stuff to say. He's seen a lot of my work. I've also done some stuff for him. Um, so I'm always trying to be decent with the price and always have, a discussion about it. And we try to get to the best terms of what we can do and stuff like that. And I am a perfectionist and I want to do the best I can.
And you
And,
do. You do amazing work. I
well,
want to
thank you.
hire you.
Give me 1 second.
All right. I was just gonna say I want to hire you because yeah, the work I've seen you do, Jason, is amazing.
There we go. Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much. No, it means a lot. That's how before I started YouTube, I started as a film and video editor for people and just spent a lot of time with that. Done some independent stuff, done some, a lot of private stuff for people. And yeah, it just became my profession. And I always wanted to do, filmmaking and writing. It's always been a big part of my life. Thank you to George Lucas and The Crow, for inspiring me to become like this. And I'm always decent with the price. If people want to hire me, it's like I say, I always try to be really decent with the price because I know there's a lot of people who sometimes overcharge for a little thing. Like there are so many people who are idiots and they're like, "Oh, we're gonna have so much for that, like 2 minutes, right? They're gonna overcharge you."
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, I don't want to overcharge people for 2 minutes. I want to find like a good solution for both parts of how much that you can pay, you know. Um, and you want the happy customer too, and not
By
be
the
an
way,
asshole
being
to
in
them.
the industry, Chase, I'm going to ask you a question. Do you have your IMDb set up yet?
Oh no, I actually have not.
Dude, well, no, the guys I was on, I've been on a few movie sets and short sets. They set up an IMDb. I can't access it. So I got my stuff up there, but I can't touch it. It's like, damn it.
Yeah,
It's
you
mine. It's
you have to pay for a subscription. Yeah, because I
yeah,
have
it's
my
so
stuff.
annoying.
I have my stuff on there too. Because
Oh,
I
that
was an
sucks.
actor. So I was in some independent films that are on Amazon Prime and stuff. But I can't
Oh, that
access it
sucks.
anymore because I can't afford it.
It's like,
Yeah, that
damn it.
sucks. Every needs has to be paid. It sucks.
Yeah.
And other than that, too, I also want to say thank you to everybody who has supported my music and what I'm doing. I've been trying to create music for a really long time, and it's been on and off. I had a band, we split up, and just been working so hard. And thank you to Cardinal Sin for inspiring me to continue a lot of music and. Also, of course, thank you to Tom, who's like pushing me because he's like, "Oh, you need to do this, man. You need to do this, man." He was like, not giving up, not giving up on it.
It's always
Uh,
good to have somebody like that in your corner, man.
it is, it is. So, thank you again to Tom for just like, do it, man. You're good. I'm like, yeah, thank you, dude.
Yeah.
Thank
But
you for taking one of my poems and writing a song from it. It was like, dude.
exactly. There is one song in my soft album, and it's based on his book, and it's called Why. So if you're interested to
Awesome.
listen, it is there. It's also on YouTube. But no, it's been a journey. It's been fun. I am working on other new music too. I'm probably not gonna release more albums or songs this year. But I'm working for maybe the end of the year, maybe, but at least the next year I'm working on stuff. So it takes time to work on music. It really does. Because you want it as perfect as you can. And I'm not as good as my old teammate in the band, but I'm getting better. It's all about learning.
Yeah.
All about learning. And yeah, a lot of other stuff I have coming up that we are gonna do. I have talked about this. I'm still working on my book. The story is finished. I will say it's like 98% finished. The book is basically 98% finished. The little thing that we are just doing now is just some rewrites and some context, adding some context to certain stuff and stuff like that. And when it's 100% done, I am gonna get it out. I am, gonna get help, get it released, and hopefully people will enjoy it. Spend a lot of time on it. It's been a couple of years.
Hell yeah.
And other than that, as I always say before we wrap up a show, just remember, life's too short, make the most of it. And we in 540 Studio and our guests, we love you, we appreciate you. None of us could have been here today if it was for all of you great peeps out there. You mean the world to us, you inspire us, and just thank you so much for supporting and watching us just talk and do the stuff that we do. Again, it's incredible. It's been so many years, and it's just an incredible journey. So with that, thank you everybody, and we will see you next time. And I still don't have an outro for this show. I need to make one, but I will just use our Beyond outro for today. So goodbye.